transportation and gas.
Biggest thing, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this now. Where transportation is complete, do you think the JUTC have enough bus to carry the adults?
Well, to all me see it right now, JUTC still want more bus. Because when we got half tree and grown up more bus park, when time
Yes.
20 coaster, 30 coaster come, it still want more.
Still want more. So the JUTC bus plus the coaster bus is still not enough.
It still want more, plus they are going to build a
Still want
different
more.
system to distribute them themselves.
All right. Again, no, hold on. So the JUTC plus the coaster bus them. And remember, the coaster bus them is the bus owner where you speak about earlier. Them plus the JUTC is not enough to carry everybody.
It still want more because you still have to build a system.
So as come to you now, if the government now was to take away 30% of the buses from out of that and put them to school bus, what would happen?
They would have still have to get more bus. You see, but what I'm saying is, if a man get 30 things, if you can give away 10 things, you see me, just find the real people them who can take the. All right, Mr. Big Man, me ask you a question. You don't feel like you couldn't carry 30 kids in our school bus? You, as a man, will have. All right, forget about this politics thing. You, as a man, will have a van, have a bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
It maybe can carry 15 or it can carry 20.
Yes.
But if 30 person like me and you, who is a good father, who take with time and ensure that the kids go to school properly and they go on time, that is still good and it does still help the system.
That is great. But we just establish, me and you just establish, say, all of the buses where we have already between the JUTs and all the coaster them, me and you just establish they are not enough. But what you're saying now is that we should take away 30% of them and dedicate them to school.
No, man, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is you have bus owner that maybe have bus, don't want to really give a bus driver car.
Sorry.
And he take up the duty to the government full his tank, and then he can't tell them to not gas.
Bridge. Sorry, I was misunderstanding you. So what you're telling me that in Jamaica presently, there are people who own buses where just park at them yard and do nothing?
Not only own it long time. If you maybe
I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you. Do you know persons in Jamaica that own buses where just park up and not do anything?
Maybe the passenger route, the adult route. Maybe the adult route.
Bridge, you made a statement. I'm trying to have you to substantiate that statement. Are there bus owners in Jamaica who for bus park up and not doing anything?
I believe so, because if sometimes
is that what you believe? No, is that about belief?
Yeah, man.
You know bus owners, you know them personally. All right, give me a number. How much people you know?
My friend.
Hold on. You just answer that. How many buses do you know where park up and not doing anything? Give me a number.
But 3 is too many. The 3 we're going to park up could go to a system, get the license to take the kids to school. 4 is too many. 5 is too many. 10 is too many.
Bridge. Listen to me again. Because right now, you have been about 5 minutes there now and you're not making much sense. So let me ask you again. You say you know a bus in Jamaica where
all right.
Hold on. Listen. Hold on. I am going. Yeah, we're going to do. I think it might serve us better if we do questions and answers. I don't think you're explaining yourself fully. So maybe I can pose question and you answer, you pose question and me answer, and we might get better that way then. So let me ask you this now. Of these buses that you say you know were park up, give me an idea of how much buses. Let me see if them can actually impact the system. How much people you know with buses were park up when we are writing down when I do not? Answer me that one there. Make we try if we can get somewhere like this. How many people you know with buses will park up and unmute your mic and come now.
Well,
Unmute your mic. Yes.
Honest truth here.
How many
Two
persons you know with
person
buses
me
will park up?
Two person me know. Because the
So you
route
know-
license too expensive. You know how much for a route license sometimes?
All right. So you know a two
For a
person.
route license.
Well, I know. You know a two person will have two. How much bus each of them have?
300 and odd thousand for route license, brother. And sometimes the
No,
bus
no.
not
How
even.
much bus?
You gotta be careful with the bus not even mix.
Bridge. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. We soon get to the license. How much buses do these two person have?
Well, we know so one of them have one and the next one have two. But we don't know about no more.
No, three bus.
But if somebody
So you know
out there
three
know people who have bus park up, can come and say them know somebody. That means say government know who have bus to park up, can give them the owner work. So that means say
Bridge. Let me put it this way to you. Let me put it this way to you. Me know a whole heap of bus owners and none of them they have no bus we park up. Me don't know of nobody in Jamaica where have no bus park up without road license too expensive. Me don't know of that. I have traveled the 14 parishes across Jamaica. I don't know of somebody with a bus we park up. But if you know 3 bus we park up, that is 3. Now, me and you earlier, we established, say, between the JUTC and the private bus owners, Jamaica, we still don't have enough buses. So, when the government said we are going to bring in some buses to carry school children, do you think that is going to get rid of the private?
Road lights are too expensive. But in everything you have to have regulation and you have to have decent people. All right, you only get in the bus because of protecting children, right? Protecting mean people are monsters. Who is driving the bus? Monsters, we are man. Can't say that. You got to find a different way. Better just know say, all right then. You have 200 bus to carry people to school, not the system sort of rough. We're going to give certain people, good people, some man where is not a pervert, try to figure out who. All right then, you give everybody a body camera.
Hold on. Bridge, you literally, my boss, me did a try to have a conversation with you. But you now make no sense. You now make no sense literally, my boss. So thanks for start by, please. Thanks for start by. You now make no sense.
Mr. Chucks.
Yes, sir.
Receive it from that.
Yeah.
Try to receive it from that.
Me want them can come here and work to go back. The thing
All right,
is,
sir.
the thing is, we did up on a live early on when me hear them attack and they jump on it that the youth named Caution. And
You can't start no good conversation with me that hear Caution.
yeah, okay. But based on what he might say, yo, people are look down on taxi man. And I say to him, say, Virgin, if you taxi whole of Jamaica right now, then can tell us the majority of the taxi man them molest the people them. Molest them and make a straight on that because my whole heap of friend when me know back then when you used to bring the school girl them, then do touch them to choke. If they not touch them around now, then 16, 17, then after a while you end up see some of them start live with them at the yard. So you know say I think what did I go on from back then the time. But the taxi man them have a different concept, brother. It's like them I say, yo, the bus them come in to tap them for eat food. You never say, yo, yeah, go get adults, you just say go get the school people them and get them go to school. So it shouldn't be a problem to nobody.
Yeah, but these very same taxi man, when a peak hours, Unless they can feel up the little girl and then I carry them.
That are true.
And again, let me put this out there, guys. It's not all taxi man, you know.
We never said
It's
that.
not all taxi man.
We never said
We
that.
have Nax one daughter. She's a TikToker here. She works with Sisuka. And she tell us the story of how much of the little girl, 13, 14, when them breed, and you ask them who do it, then tell us how big's the taxi driver, or black are the taxi driver. Them. So the very same taxi and bus driver who
I don't cut you.
now carry the picnic them.
Stop, I don't cut
All
you.
of a sudden, feel in a way that the picnic them we get a transportation of them one.
Stop. I was a conductor and I see that often. I was a conductor and I see that often. You hear me? So when
Yes, I know
that guy who come up, he's a dummy. He's a dummy because you ask him some question where it's simple question where he cannot answer. Simple question.
Right, as we said, people like him.
We must not come off of this bus system, bus business where Peter Bunting and Mark Golden Condon, we must not come off of it until they come out and apologize.
Well, as we say, no, now they sent out a letter.
Let them not have much.
Yeah, but it is sent because them know so the people them will follow them now read. So they put that in writing when they were beating down the system. The press conference then keep her then go up on the political platform. So all of a sudden when you realize the shit where I lose the warrior, you go up now put it in a writing. Why? Because your people them now read and no readers them you go find out. And no readers. You know so them now read, them not look into anything. So you can now just sell them anything, wrap up anywhere you want. Them now look beyond it. Them now go read this. None of my people are now go read this. Unless somebody read it, make them hear. Because when them have press conference, them supporters might hear. And they don't want them here. Them still want. As I say, no.
We read it.
I remember when this thing about 28 bank account just come out. And I was talking to an influential PMP supporter, big man, businessman, man with money, but he is a staunch PMP. And when they ask him, he say, how would you cost people about bank account? And you know what he said to me? He said, don't worry about the bank account argument. He said, you won't hear nobody with sense with it. That's what the PMP supporter. He said, you won't hear nobody with sense with that argument. And if you notice, you don't hear none of the inside of PMP them with it. You never hear them with it yet. But you hear the local bottom feeder them on social media, them alone you hear with it. And I'd never forget it. The PMP supporter, him said, don't worry about that. You will hear nobody with sense with that argument. Nobody with sense. That's what him tell me. So we can look and see who we hear with that argument, and then we know who has sense. Who know what them are doing. Miss Aldi, you said you have a question earlier. Oh, she get a card same time. All right, when she come back. Right. But as I said, this rural school bus system, the Jamaican, and this is the show consistency. Oh, go ahead, Aldine.
Okay. Oh yeah. I don't understand the mindset of these people. Ever since I was a little girl, I'm now over 50. And these people mindset is the same. We never even have buses. We have to walk 2, 3, 4, 5 miles to and from school.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in the latter part of the years, children have to be packed in the taxis like sardines on top of each other in laps, and that's what they want for the children. This man coming out with one of the best system for the school. This same bus system work in America and it work in Canada. Those two I know for sure. I know there are other countries, but I live in the United States, so I know it works here. The kids go on the bus, they meet up at a designated area. Each community, like if it's a community, each community, they will meet at the front. And then everybody go on the bus there, and then they get picked up at a certain location just the same and drop off of the same area. Like somebody in the comment or on the panel said, you have taxi driver, even bus driver, who tell children that they're not carrying them.
They don't, no schoolers.
Right. So all these people come up with their little, I don't know, analysis or their little plan in their head where they have one bus and think that the government should drive around and see who have a bus and say, let's come, no. Why didn't they do that all along? So now when this man have a plan, pencil out the plan and have it ready to help the education system in Jamaica. Everybody have a say.
Aline, in 2010, in 2010, Mike Henry, who was the transport minister at the time, started the implementation of a rural school bus system. Mike Henry did. He ordered 100 brand new buses in 2011. Could have been phase one of that system. We had an election in 2011, the PMP won and came to office. In 2012, Omar Davis, as transport minister, cancel that order. Cancel that order. So it's
they want to keep people. They want to keep people down. They want to keep people down. They don't want progress.
Right.
How
so
can
it's
you
from
not want progress?
203. Thank you. 203. Thank you, Shika. 203 buses were ordered from that time. So from 2010, if the PMP they just continue with that program, Jamaica would have a rural school bus program that is now 10 years old.
Right. And it would be progressive.
And it would have been progressive. Would have a change out bus want to put in you. Yes. But just like how
that also create more jobs for the drivers who have no job, because a lot of the time the taxi drivers have hell with the police and they have to be running and hiding. So they just go get yourself a CDL license. Now you can drive the school bus and have a steady job.
Well, there is now a training program that the government is advertising for drivers for these school buses. They are being vetted and they are being trained.
Right. And then they will have a pension.
It's not just a send a letter, the man can drive something. No. These drivers are being vetted and they are being trained for this specific purpose. There will be a warden on the bus. Somebody there making sure the kids are not being abusive to, are being abused by.
Right.
There is a camera that is trained on the driver to watch him.
Right.
To make sure that he is operating above board.
Right.
There are seat belts in the bus. There are front impact, back impact. The sides are reinforced.
And no child can be sitting in each other's lap.
No child will be sitting in another child's lap or in an adult lap.
Look here, not
those people are off the pass. And when the bus pull up now, you're going to hear no adults. Nobody can push you down if you go in a school. Nobody can push on your picnic. As a parent, when your child swipe the card and go on the bus, you will know, yes, my child is on a bus on their way home. You as a parent can now go on the app,
and it's
look inside of the bus and see. Yes. You can now access the app, go inside of the bus and see your child sitting in that bus on their way home safely.
But Chuck, you have and even the city bus, you have camera. You have 9 cameras on the city bus. So when the bus moving, dispatch are watching everything on those bus. That means that if a fight broke out and the water can't control it, they will press the panic button and they will dispatch the police.
My nephew
Look
who is living in
how protected that bus is. Eh?
my nephew, chef, living in Atlanta, got into a fight on one of these buses when his mother was called to the school. And as a little boy, I was telling him, mother, boy, never need to do nothing, you know. When them bring up the video now, she could see the video, everything what happened on the bus because it is being recorded.
What they need to do, you know, they need to put camera outside the bus too, because you have some drivers on the road will try to.
The cameras are outside the bus also.
Okay, because we have some drivers, we bad drive the driver and make the driver run off the road where it's not safe.
Now believe that they come where they're now going to send out the taxi man then to make it up September morning. Now believe that they're not going to do it, you know. But let me say this about the other buses, gentle people. I don't know if you understand. So majority of these buses on the road, the taxi them,
Put it in the atmosphere.
they are not insured. Yeah, they're not insurance. So if them go in accident, I'm just picking it again. Have you ever traveled on a JUTC bus, this school as recently? If I have ever traveled, yes, we travel on JUTC bus. Right? So most of these buses and taxis we send the people them pan every day. They're not insured, they're not no insurance. Most of these people,
they have insurance, they have a
the
minimum.
parents have no recourse, they have nothing. They have to find and bury their child and then one and them have nothing. These buses by the government will be insured. These buses will be governed by the very rules that govern the school. Once you step on the bus, you're essentially at school. Once you put on that bus, you are at school. School rule applies.
So you can't late. You can't late to go to school.
I don't know.
You're not supposed to.
You ever turn up downtown? I don't know who ever turn up downtown and listen to the Waterhouse bus, them in particular. When the bus they come morning time with some level of music in a them, where the people them have to be subjected to listen to. When them guys by them reach school a morning time, the mentality change.
They can't study.
No, when you go to school, you can sit on the bus and get a little reading done or finish your maths homework.
Wi-Fi gonna be
because you go sit down in a peace and quiet.
And Wi-Fi gonna be on the bus.
Wi-Fi will be there, yes, scroll the camera. So like I said, you will be able to sit in the bus and get some work done. Mark Golden, you see, I would prefer Mark Golden to say, yeah, when me come, me I go just get rid of them bus and buy some brand new one. But the idea was say, I am going to pay the very persons, the same bus and taxi man when now carry the picnic them, they're going to give them taxpayers money and hope that they start carrying them.
Chuck, I was live last night and I said, after this press conference, the narrative will be changed. Look out. After this press conference, the narrative will be changed. Look out. After this press conference. Right. I was saying you have to look out for the new position that they will take. Either them are going to say, oh, we are against taxi man and we don't want to make money, or it's too expensive, it wasn't value for money, wasn't a good buy, we wasted the money, all of that. Let's talk about
Like
that.
school children.
starting. Me does listen out for them say them starting.
Yeah, no, but they see them start to part the culture already because according to Vice of Satan, at them started and then it roll out pilot program and then try to bring up Gleaner article. I don't remember who's live, but me jump on and pull up the same Gleaner articles and pull up some older articles than the one that he brought up to try and credit PNP.
Alright.
So maybe I have to deal with him on that case and he run off for the life. But the point I want to get to is the angle that the PMP is taking and fooling taxi drivers, you know, insult them intelligence by telling them, then quote this big figure, $1.9 billion will be injected and the money will go directly to the taxi drivers. I'll say this. When I was going to school,
was never even about taxi drivers. It's about the children of Jamaica.
Right,
so I don't know why they take it up and start talking about this taxi. It's about the children.
Exactly. But the point I'm making is this. You see, a lot of people is being confused by all this talk or the angle that the PNP is approaching. And here's why. They quote this big figure, $1.9 billion, and everybody get excited with the amount of money where they hear. And it seems taxi driver has forgotten that students pay half fare, not full fare. That's why when I was going to school, we weren't the priority passengers. They prioritize carrying adults because adults pay full fare. So it no matter how much government put into a parent's hand, a student just pays half fare. So
and sometimes they charge the student adult fare too.
A $50 child I go play. If the route is $100, and if a $200 the route cost, $100 a child I go pay in uniform. It no matter how much money they give them, $2,500 a week or $10,000 a week, you're going to get half fare because these are school children. So I don't know why they might get excited about that. And I say they might take out food out of taxi driver mouth.
No, they're not.
That is the summer holiday. The taxi driver, they don't have food in their mouth.
Travi, they're not getting excited, they're getting upset.
I know that it is summer. I want to ask if taxi drivers don't have food in their mouth, because some of them argument is food in their mouth. Right? The next thing I want to show people, because I don't want to focus too much on taxi driver, because let me just use this opportunity to big up good, decent taxi driver that do exist. Taxi driver who operate in decent by the law.
No one derail that, but on the first point, me hear them and say they might give parents money and they might give taxi man money. So who will get the money?
The PMP is confused. It's not the first time. If you listen to the budget debate, Mark Golin have a different argument from Julian Robbins. It's not the first time. The PMP is a mess. And the people of Jamaica need to look into that and if they can't even agree upon them policy, they don't know in a problem. The next point that I wanted to touch on, people. The government proposed to spend $1.4 billion on asset. Yes, a depreciating asset, but it's an asset that the government will have and will serve the country for 10 to 15 years in buying these buses. The PMP wants to spend up, them say 1.9, but when they do the calculations, it's over $2 billion. And giving away money, and we don't have nothing to show for it. They spend the $2 billion or 1.9 billion in 2025 and it done. That's it. We don't see it again. The way the government is operating, this 1.4 billion, we are going to see it next year, and a year after that, and a year after that, and a year after that. It's going to be there. It's an asset. You understand me? So this same principle I want to bring your attention to. That's why they bought water trucks instead of buying pipes and bringing water to people's house. Bring water to your yard. That's why they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to buy water trucks under their administration and not pipes, when the service life of pipes outlives having water trucks.
Facts.
And the same mentality that never worked before them I come back with. To give people, instead of teaching you to fish, are creating an opportunity for you to be able to fish. They are giving you a fish.
Travi, hold on. As you mentioned, the water truck. One of the concerns that the PMP have is that these buses are not vetted for Jamaican roads. Now, I remember a fleet of Benz truck that was purchased to deliver water. And Travi, may I get old? What was the problem with them Benz truck where they never last for a year again? And traffic
They couldn't manage the terrain, they couldn't manage.
What was the problem with these Benz truck where they never last?
them couldn't manage
I
the
hear.
terrain. They weren't built for here. But my question before me even go so far is which vehicle is designed specifically for Jamaica? Which one?
You see, on the argument, they are easily rubbish, right?
And also some bars, but all the bars opened. The bar was on the right hand side when they opened down, so the wheelchair lift was going down into the right hand side of the road. Cause we drive on the left, right?
Into traffic.
Right? And what the minister said was that even though these things are going to be a part of the buses, what they're going to do, they're going to be making some adjustments to make sure that they fit, they're suitable for the road. So based on what Minister Vaz said, that's why I said they're not fully ready for the road yet, because they will have to make some adjustments to some of them so that they can work according to how our road rules and how our situation set up. So that's why I said that.
All right, understand. So maybe you're new to the whole conversation and the situation. From the moment the first 2 buses was brought in the island, it was already established that they will be retrofitted, meaning the doors will be placed on the other side for the safety of children, and all of the things that need to be rearranged will be rearranged, right? And those costs are a part of the 1.4 billion that was quoted for these 110 buses. I have a little list here. Let me tell you what the 1.4 pays for. The 110 buses, 1 year worth of parts, 1 year maintenance, also to bring them to Jamaica, to retrofit them for the camera and GPS tracking system that is in these buses. Did I leave off anything?
Yeah, man, that is all good and well. I appreciate all of them things. Yeah, man.
Those are the things that was paid for with this 1.4 billion, which is less than what the PMP is proposing. Less than.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Chavi,
these will give us.
Hold on,
Let me make this. Hold on. Let me make this
Mr.
point.
People are naming up in our
Give
comments.
us-
Mr.
it
People
will
are
give
naming
us-
up in our comments, but I think he might take a negative stance. He just put it out there.
No, I'm not taking a negative stance on it, because one thing what me I say, I'm gonna make it clear. The school bus system, have to run. We need it. You understand what I say? No two ways about it. We don't see how it's there already with children now get to go to school on time and thing. So we need the school bus system. My point is just that if we get some of the bus them, it would have been good if we could have get the bus them without having to go through all of them fitting and changing it, because
But they have
when
to
you
do
change
so.
things,
They
you
have
know,
to-
remember, so when you
All
change
right,
things,
so all right, hold on, Chef Will.
you have to go certify them again.
All right,
The manufacturer
bro,
will
here-
that's the problem. The
Yeah, man.
manufacturer.
Hold on. These buses are American-made buses, and we drive on the opposite side of the road.
Yes.
Right? So
Right,
that's what put in that conundrum right there. No,
Come on.
when you come on to Japanese-made used vehicles, which drive on the same side as we and normally come all right. Now you are gonna have to factor in the higher price in freight when it comes on to that, and the parts are there.
Chavi, a Freightliner, you know. Remember say Freightliner is not Japanese. Freightliner is an American company. So these are-
No, he understand. That's what I said. These are American-made buses, and that's what caused the conundrum, because they
So
drive
Japan
on
in our argument, none at
different
all.
side of
No.
the. No, the reason why here's why I put Japan in a hit, because even the guy that was on earlier, he said that we should have used that money and buy Coaster buses or Japanese-made vehicle, which has proven to be more expensive.
So we couldn't get 100 Coaster bus.
And the expense are the problem.
Coaster bus not needed for school. School
And the
bus.
safety.
Hold on. Then.
No,
Even
man.
that Coaster bus.
Any bus that carry children go school a school bus, man.
I need
Coaster
a-
bus
I-
are
No,
what-
no, no.
I need a hold on,
no.
guys. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Yes,
I need that. There are other factors that you're not considering. I'm just ask the panel. Just give me a chance.
Hold on, Chavi. Sir, you see, I'm a bus operator, sir. And
Yes.
you see Coaster bus
Yes.
and the yellow school bus
Yes.
is 2 different material make them. You hear me? And,
Yeah, man.
and the Coaster bus, if the Coaster bus crash, that's 4.
Everybody gone.
Yeah, I'm not disagree. So hold on. Let me make my point clear. You see, because a bus name a school bus, right? Is it that now gonna stop a Coaster bus from carry children to school, and we say that at the car when we da go high school. My high school,
It's not carrying children, sir.
No, man, hold on, man.
Guys, wait.
My
Like
school
he's
bus.
explaining, the
Let me see.
materials is different.
I need a
So,
big ass.
hey, yeah, man. My
I
school
need a
bus
big
when I
ass.
go high school was a Coaster bus.
Big ass.
Coaster
Hold
bus we
on.
have.
Let me see
We
if we
never
can
have
make
the
a
yellow
difference.
school bus.
Hold on. Let me see if we can create a
bus.
distinction here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Guys. Let me see if we can create a
Coaster bus
distinction.
weren't safe though.
Hold on there.
All right.
You see the yellow buses,
Yes.
they're up to 48. Coaster stops at 32, right?
Correct.
The
Correct.
coasters cost roughly 21 million. These buses and is 7 million, and if you include the cost of the parts and the every retrofitting that needs, it comes up to maybe about 11 million per bus.
So the economics clear.
11,
Yeah, them
12
buses have a
million,
better advantage.
right?
Not hide that.
Hold
not hide
on.
that.
These
That's
buses
good.
are
And they are
built with
stronger.
defense mechanism. The coasters
Yeah.
aren't. No,
Which is
the
the
back of the
number
bus
one-
is
which is the-
reinforced.
Guys,
Hold on, the
guys,
back of the bus is
Exaggerate that.
reinforced.
hello, good afternoon, everybody. I want everybody to mute their mic. Please, one at a time. When I have a discussion or nothing that makes sense, because nobody not hear nothing. So please mute your mics, and then Travi and the gentleman have a conversation, let them try to trash it out, and then we can move on to others. Please, me I beg you, it don't make no sense. Literally, it doesn't. Travi, open your mic, please.
All right. So what I'm saying is buses are built specifically with the children's protection in mind. The side of the buses are collision reinforced. That means if somebody hit the bus by the side, it is actually there's extra material and extra mechanism that is placed into the side of the bus to alleviate the impact in terms of the passengers. The back is the same, the front is the same. If the bus happened to overturn by any chance, the roof has a emergency exit for the roof and also for the side and the back. So there's a whole lot of difference and more design and engineering that is placed in these buses. And that's why they're not so cute on the eyes or soft on the eyes, as most people would say. But if you check out what they offer, it surpasses what the coasters offer. It's a better engine, a better transmission system that is in these buses compared to the coaster bus. As a matter of fact, you see the same truck them we see a move aggregate Freightliner trucks, we see a move aggregate or a move goods up and down the country. It's those same engines that are in buses.
We not disagree, So I agree with you 100%. I'm safer, but here I'm saying. I'm not saying that the coaster bus are same school bus and it should be used instead of these buses. Man, I say that. What I'm saying is, when we say the coaster bus them worse or not as functional for the school bus system, that's all good and well. But when we have got champs, right? And we say all of the school them are line up, them athletes are coming from all over the island. And most of them come in a coaster bus and them call them school bus. You understand what I say? So when me say a school bus is a bus that carry students to and from school specifically, I mean that the coaster bus is better than these yellow buses because, as you said, the safety features on the yellow buses are superior. You understand what I mean? I agree with that 100%.
Dean, hold on, let him finish.
Dean, hold on.
Hear my question now. When we say the coaster bus is not a school bus, are we saying that all these schools, my alma mater and all the schools across Jamaica who use coaster buses to transport their children, are we suggesting that those buses should no longer be called school buses, are used for that purpose? That's not what we're saying.
No, that's not. We're not saying that. We're not saying that because hold on.
Good.
Madam Moose,
This is the government trying to create a separate fleet of buses specifically for students, and they have gone for not only a cheaper alternative, but it is safer and built exactly for that purpose. That is the difference here.
Travi, hold on, make Chuck come in, and I just want to add this point before you jump in, Chuck. We need to get this out of our heads, right? One of the things that Jamaica suffers with is the fact that we leave our disabled, our vulnerable people behind, and our children. If we notice, even the schools, they are now building ramps and stuff like those to accommodate the disabled children. So with these buses, it will make it easier. Take out the coaster out on the head, the NOAA, the taxis. We need to be more accommodative to the vulnerable. And I am speaking specifically for the physically challenged, the one that we call handicap. We need to get that in our heads. And this is one of the main reasons I would say this is a very, very good initiative. I will yield to Chuck, please.
All right. Let me say the gentleman, my name Anida. ask a question if we call the coaster bus them, if they're no longer school bus. Now, there's a difference between a police car and a car that carries some policemen. If I drive my personal vehicle and I take up 2 policemen down the road and I give them a job, I have a car with some policemen in it, but I don't have a police car. You have some coaster buses that carry some school children, but they're not school buses. They just carry school children. These buses are school buses. They are built for that purpose, they were bought for that purpose, and they will be implemented for that purpose. These are school buses. No, we still have some other buses that carry school children. And that's the difference with the two now. Right? Now, a part of the argument that I don't want us to miss is that this is not the first attempt at starting a rural school bus system. The Jamaica Labour Party tried it in 2010. 2010, the Jamaica Labour Party ordered 230 buses for a rural school bus system. These were brand new buses. Brand new buses. 230 of them were ordered. The PMP came to power in 2012 and canceled those buses. So our school bus system now could have been far advanced. No. But the very same PMP what we have today is still fighting down a rural school bus system. Now again, will the system be perfect on day one? No. Will some of the bus them broke down a road? Yes. Them are going to have engine trouble. Them are going to have flat tire. Them are going to have all sort of something. Everything that could happen to a brand new bus can happen to an old one. Because we have new bus broke down a road too. It's going to happen. Now, when it happens, it's not a, oh, see that the bus broke down through it all. The bus broke down through the bus broke down. JUTC buy some brand new bus one day and 1 or 2 of them broke down a road. Right? So when you see one bus broke, when you see people that make video, oh, see one of the bus park up there. So yes, one of the bus are going to park somewhere. See one of the bus park, yes, it is going to happen because the system is not perfect. What would have been perfect would have the PMP continue with the system that the Jamaica Labour Party started in 2010. Right? Yes. In 2010, when the Jamaica Labour Party ordered 230 brand new buses, if that system has continued, we would not be having this conversation.
So
today.
include this in our argument, so that we bought a whole 10 extra buses. Just in case one broke down, a replacement is there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Expand the screen, please.
Hold on. Guys, please hold on a little bit. Please, people, don't allow the people them to finish make them point. It's me go throw out that box. You know, make no sense. You're gonna have your time. May I go to 100 Live, then Mr. Senior wanted to say something, and then Dean, they came up last. I think they wanted to comment on your point, Anita, and then we can go back around. All right, so 100 Live, Mr. Senior, then Dean. I want to stop up in on the mic at all. Me want to say something. Wait. Thanks.
You can expand Java box there for me. When we plug in that phone, we can on the screen.
Yeah, me not think Amadina ask some good question. I wanna need we see people
Stop pay attention to that.
yeah, so nothing wrong with we just say to them. But you see, like this government as we talk did I say me just tap on the same thing. Like them have plan and preparation. Right? So we buy 100 bus and we buy 110 extra. right? So that if anything happen to one of the bus, the replacement is there, right? And one of the main thing I don't want people to overlook. I don't want people to overlook the safety aspect, because these are the number one priority when it comes to these design and the element. It's not aesthetically pleasing, and it won't ever be aesthetically pleasing, right? Because it's made for safety. It make like an armored vehicle for, because a picnic in it, and it's prioritized to bring picnic. Coaster can do the job. Other vehicles can do the job, but the efficiency is lacking when it comes to safety and protection. That are the priority way I offer, because when a child leave their home, then leave the safety of their mother and their father, their parents or guardian, them become them knowing that they're most vulnerable state, and they're more prone to whatever may happen to them, right? So it must feel good for as a parent if you know say your child are gonna be protected and there's something orderly done for them, right? Secondly, is that when it comes to retrofitting, obviously we know say retrofitting have to go on because it's Freightliner, and Freightliner is an American company. So the manufacturer we are deal with them design overall for them thing that's different from Jamaica. So we have to go through that process there. So no criticism should come from people that should just understand that. You understand? And these buses, them are the toughest thing known to man. Lashika can talk, Lashika live here. So anytime you have some places like far places like Saskatchewan, right? When them have extreme weather and them have snowstorms, and I'm saying it already, and them bus are them send to evacuate people out of them area, them house when storm or whatever come, because them bus are built for that. Them bus are trustworthy when it comes to that, and them are broke snow, them are nothing can stop them. So the argument both say them Jamaica have hilly terrain and blah 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 is total nonsense, utter garbage, right? People just applaud the thing. It's very disheartening. This initiative is coming under criticism. Very, very, very disheartening. Very disheartening.
Follow the history.
So yeah, next one.
Follow the history.
Thank you. Mr. Senior, unmute your mic.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning to the panel. Chuck Wagwa.
Morning, world.
Good morning.
I had wanted to come up long time, Chuck, to tell you if you take off this bread off of the life from morning, but I couldn't get the chance to come up. We sit down with that brother nearly an hour. One named Bridge.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
Bridge, man. Let me tell you, man, that man is so, the man repeat himself about 110 times last night on the live. And up till now, you know who get him off of the live? Ned's company life asked him one question. One question Ned asked him, and him couldn't answer. And when Ned tell him that I can't tell you why I will wait for the Prime Minister. And Ned tell him 9 things, and all nothing can't tell him anything in jump off of the life. You see, so I don't know how we can argue with those people, those type of people. We have to keep them aside. Anyway, my brother, the bus thing, remember that 2010 operation when we asked the bus, them it was who do it, Adley Shah, I think, yes.
Mike Henry,
yes, Mike Henry, right. And when the man they don't have place, they don't have jungle tell you say them don't have enough money, them cannot afford it at the time. So me remember all of that. And to see now that Jamaica is getting a bus service, which is better than none. Because everybody know that America always prepare themselves for the best thing to the type of way how them live. We call them live coward. So even a bomb sometimes can go through that the bus. So easy. Now, if that bus leak on the road, you can't say, well, the thing where it leak, I go mash up on it. If you even run in it, and it can
You're right.
And it can save the children them in a way where them have enough cushion and everything inside. You won't say somebody won't hurt, because if you get a leak, you get a leak. But good God, man, it's time we come off of this bus thing, because it will happen no matter what them do. No matter what them do, it is going to happen. Because the time come right now, it happen. So, We have to just wait till the morning. It's not going to be perfect at first, right? Not going to be perfect at the first. But if you take your time, go on until it pick up. I mean, just wish September a very good day to remember, you know, when that morning come out. You see, I mean, me have election before that too.
Don't worry, you will. Every single news station I go down there for try capture one mistake.
Of course, yeah.
Every single DJ go send the camera. Go look for one simple mistake so they can run with it.
All the gleaner go did their first.
We are going to send a photographer. Everybody will be there just to capture one thing where they can say, see there with the tell or no. Jenna, your time. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Shika.
All right, you can come out of the box though, right?
No, you cannot. Stay away there.
Hey, she coming like, you come in the box and tell me, say, I and them something there, like, shoot Chavi there, boy, the same. It's all right, boy, Chavi, never shoot to their foot, yeah?
Oh, yeah. a matter of fact, before me forget.
I just, hear me, I said, hear me, I said.
Well, a little bit, my brother. Just to remember one thing. Right now, I was just watching CNN, and the same bus, the way we are criticized. Don't have him takes us. I take people out of mud right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and one another people where them find and maybe they dead.
I'm guaranteed them must say good all of that what they talk when they talk about the Jamaica now.
All right. Maybe don't want to park over the army place them.
Yeah, Shika.
I mean, I know not like that, man. Sure. You know, so they are different already.
All right, let's see.
You know, so we can't make everybody know we're busy.
All right, let's see. No, that is it.
Chavi, you hear that, Chavi?
Chavi, don't afraid to that, Chavi.
So I'm quite confident in where I stand. So many.
Hey, I want to really about to boss, you know, I feel love one of boss here like hell, man. I tell you, bro. But here go and do it. Chuck, you know one thing I think we are slide over to? With the Costa argument, right? And I think that is one of the me as a person, just think about it. The government, I go spend 1.4 billion, right? That is the cost, right? For the bus there.
The total cost. The total cost. Bus, freight, retrofit, everything.
All right, so that means what I say is with the Costa now, you know how much Costa that can actually buy? Maybe can buy far more than what we buy from them bus there. But here the problem with the Costa.
Hold on, the Jenna. No, it can't.
No, you're wrong, boss. You're wrong.
No.
The Costa, listen.
$between $1 million, $30 million, I mean. One of them Costa they have near $30 million.
Yeah, but because they talk about new, you know, one new Costa is 148,000 US dollars. That's 20 odd million Jamaican dollar. See? All right, I was on a live with one brother where he do car imports and he opening camera and a shop and he compute all of that. He said the cheapest he must sell one Costa for right now is 16.5 million, which costs more than the buses.
All right. So the point that I try to make still, even if they decide to say I go Costa route, just hear it out. If they even decide to say I go Costa route, all right, it costs a bit more than buy the bus, then buy 100 bus. You know, actually we are create some more problem with them bus instead of solving the problem. Because we know say Jamaica full of Costa already. So you know what they're gonna do? Eventually enough of them the bus are gonna get thief, and when they get thief, the parts they're gonna scrap and sell back to the same Costa bus because they have a problem with Jamaica already with the regular Costa owner them and all of these things already. So if the camera them hand and them a work or whatever, a man just going on night and mass up and teeth the bus. When them teeth the bus, you know, carry the thing and cut it up and go sell it. So we are keep on a lose and a fair chase. So we don't want to go in a system where is the bus them when they already is already there. So why would we get buses that then to create a next problem by people stealing the bus them and all kind of different thing? So with this bus, no, but with this.
The gas.
Yeah, even the gas. That is the next example. But
it's run them.
Yeah, but if this bus, with this bus, right? With this bus, how much person you think can find them? Nobody in Jamaica has none of them bus. So we don't have to worry about if them going to thief them, because nobody going to thief them. Because the parts them can't nobody. So
yeah, but the gas can use in a vehicle, in these vehicles out there.
No, Chef Wayne, hold on.
Yeah,
hold on, Chef Wayne. Allow him to finish. And then you jump in, please. Continue, Dean.
Yeah, man, rest.
Let me give a bit of history, Jenna. Well, on Chef Wayne, let me give a bit of history that in 1976, there was a a business Hilltop somewhere in Trelawney, I think it was, that was selling parts for the JOS buses. Remember, these were government operated buses, government bring them in. No other person was allowed to serve or sell the parts, but somebody had a business where they were selling them. You know what them do it? Them take where the government parts, go open a business and sell it. So Jenna, you have a point. It was done before. Chef Wayne, over.
Chef Wayne is you. Chef Wayne mute. Chavi, you're next. Chavi, go on.
Hereby, I'll begin on from starting. You wanna say something, darling?
Go on. No, Chuck, you can put your phone on silent. Oh, you know no behavior so.
Right. Me tell you that. Me tell you that. I didn't have phone. Me have to use and we call him.
Okay.
Hereby, I'll do. So two things. The first thing I want to mention is that you see in the United States, just like Japan, they are the manufacturer of the vehicles. They make them in a bundle and them sell them in a their country. And after, because how the system works is a conveyor belt of production. So when they make buses this year, within the next year or two, they retire them, and that creates a secondary market. So the brand new ones then create for themselves for use and have for them purpose, and they get government subsidies as well as government, fund the business that the manufacturer, them get them tax break, them tax cuts, whatever. And the government also is buying from this same business, because that's a part of how they make the economy work. So what they do is they create a secondary market when they retire these buses after a year or two, and the secondary market is where they sell off these buses to countries like Jamaica and yes, Canada, big first world country, Canada, buy this from the secondary market and not directly from the manufacturer. Don't believe me? Google is our friend. Google is open and ready for all of us to use. Now, the thing that I want to bring up, as Chuck did mention, Mike Henry ordered 230 purpose-built school buses specifically for students, to carry students, see? And when the PMP came to power, they scrapped that. They scrapped that program, and this is what they started. You see, the same conversation the market have is the same thing. PMP plan no change. They want private bus owners, minibus owners to run school bus system, right? Because that is a way for them to fund their surrogates with taxpayers' money, right? Where we're seeing on the screen right here is a highest bus. It's a low top. It's not even a high top. The same buses that were already is been meeting in accidents, and students are lose their lives in, and even adults are lose their lives in, because they have no safety feature. The drivers aren't vetted. There's no structure. There's no structure for control. Everybody just out of willingly and do anything what they want, and that's why we have the excessive speeding and the overcrowding of the buses.
But not even
The
that,
PMP is against standard. It's against standard and putting in infrastructure in place, because the government is building out a school bus infrastructure. When they buy, like the minister said, this is the first phase. When they done phase 1, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna have hundreds of buses that is geared to carrying students. They are purpose built. What do I mean by that? They are built specifically to carry students, and they are built with protective mechanism, because this revamping of the school bus system in the second attempt by the JLP administration to bring it about, it came from students dying in motor vehicle accident. So it's not that them just want to do bus for bus sake, and them just want to do bus for political mileage. No, it was a real situation where the Teachfield students met in an accident in a taxi, and students died. That's when they revived the initiative and say, you know what, we want purpose-built vehicles that the speed limit will be, what's the word that they do? They gauge, and it can't go faster than a certain speed, right? And it has protective mechanism. That is the real reason for the buses. It's not about cheap. and Costa and what already exists. It's about protecting students. Let me give you some data. 2016 to 2024, over 60 odd students died in motor vehicle accidents between either they were going to school or coming home from school. Within the same period of time, over 750 students receive injuries through these accidents. Broke hand, broke foot, all sorts. So this initiative is coming into place to protect the students. And guess what? There are other benefits, other spin-offs from doing this. Things like having them in a comfortable, supervised atmosphere traveling to and from school. No loud raunchy music, no forced to be sitting in a boy lap, no inappropriate touching because the bus so full up and everybody else do them little willy-nilly thing, whatever. You understand me? No carrying students in a no car trunk. Parents can now set up a structure where they can monitor their child or their children going and coming from school, because there's an app that will give the routes, give the timings, giving all of that. You can check in on the bus. There's camera system, and the driver will be monitored by camera system. There's specific camera set up to watch the driver, because we don't know about nobody, but I'm guilty of touching my phone while driving. Most people are. Right? And we understand that this causes accidents. So as such, the children's safety is priority, and that is why these mechanisms are being put in place. That is the reason. So they're asking people, forget the whole idea of looks and newness, because 95% or higher of the vehicle that exists in Jamaica are used vehicles from the Japanese market. And the Japanese market even sell European vehicle, because it's crazy that Mercedes-Benz and Beamer is European vehicles, but the Jamaicans are buying them through China and importing them into Jamaica through the Japanese market. So this whole idea of old bus and old vehicle, it is an irrelevant argument. It is just a desperate attempt of seeking political or gaining political mileage, and it is backfiring royally. And that's where you find them change the goalposts and start talk about costs and this and that and whatsoever. No, the important thing is the numbers has to be curtailed, because in that 60, we don't know if we lose one prime minister. We don't know how many doctors or nurses or lawyers we have lost in those numbers. And I will heal. Right?
Thank you, Travis.
So I'm back. Sorry about that. So as somebody who go on the both side, as a doctor and a bus operator, I would say that's a good thing the government doing for Jamaica. Not even good, great. And great can't explain. You hear me? What the government doing for the future, because the kids is our future. The government try to build our future from the bottom to the top. Because if you don't build the future, we don't have no country. If you allow these kids to do what they want to do in the sight of nobody, they will do things where you don't expect. As a father of two, a son and a daughter, I would applaud the government for what he's doing. My kids are not living in Jamaica, but they're going to ride these buses. These buses is what carry school kids. No matter if you're a lawyer now, a doctor now, a judge, a president, or what, that's what carry you go to school and back from school. Unless your parents have time to take you. But it's not every parents have time because people have to work.
Let me respond to Amazing Love. Amazing Love say nothing is wrong with used vehicle, but pay what it is worth. Now, I would assume that Amazing Love would have seen the man, King of the Fish, who went on eBay, find the picture of an old school bus where I sell for $500. and say, at the end of the government.
Chuck,
back.
you want amazing love up because instead of requesting, you want them up.
Bring him up, man. Bring him up.
May I make a contribution before allowing amazing love to come up? Again, not
I
to.
don't finish yet, you know, sir.
No, man. I'm asking for an opportunity, not to cut.
Man, I'm gonna give you that opportunity.
We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Sure.
I'll give you that opportunity. But let me say now, the government of Jamaica, we do not shop for medical supply on eBay. We do not shop for transportation on eBay. Okay? Let that sink in so everybody who thinks that the government could have gone on eBay and find a neurosurgery drill. And we can go on eBay, go find some bus. And also government apparel.
Only a dumb person that
right? That's as called to every single PMP blogger. That's how they would have done it, and that's how their party would have done it. The government of Jamaica don't procure things on eBay. None of its suppliers procure things from eBay. We are people, we approach companies that manufacture. And remember, just like everything else what this government do, these buses come with 1 year service contract and then. So the same company will be coming here for the first year to both service them and pass on the knowledge to our local mechanics who will take over after the 1 year finish.
And there's something, Chuck, that is missing from the conversation. And I think Darrell said it yesterday, Mr. Vaz actually, or Minister Vaz, I should say, said it yesterday, that these buses, a special team of mechanics from the JUTC was sent to wherever the buses were in the US to procure these buses. So they did not just come, they never just said, okay, we're going to buy 110 buses just off the bat, looking at them on pictures or anything like that. The team went to the US and they did their inspection, they chose them, they understood what exactly needed to be done, they met with the manufacturers and everything. So it's just not a regular online eBay purchase that never happened. There was a team sent to the manufacturing or the depot, wherever they were parked, they looked at the buses, handpicked, right? So it is not fair to say that they aren't worth what we're paying for them.
So the Chef Wayne to continue. Okay, finish up Chef Wayne and then.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, you know, these buses, at the time, I live in Florida, and anytime storm coming, that's what they use evacuate people. Either these buses or the JTA buses them. But these buses is a frontline bus. These buses what take police and military if they have to deployed in the state. These buses what take student. No matter where the student is, these buses go for them and take them. No matter how much money your mother or your father will have, this bus where you ride go to school. And they well.
Chef Wayne, thanks.
Give me a minute because I get cut in. They're well equipped. They're well equipped with every technology you find. So those, I would tell all the parents them, come out and demonstrate against Peter Bunting and Mark Golding for what they said about the school buses, the future of the country.
And Chef Wayne, I think they did a demonstration at the polls.
I understand that part. Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you were finished earlier. That's why I did say thank you, but apologies. Anita, go on. Here by Aldine, you want to say something? I want to know so we can then move to Amazing Love.
Yeah, I will in a minute.
Okay, all right. So we'll go to Anita and then we come back to you.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Madam Moderator, Mr. Host. I just want to just take a second for just acknowledge and just share my gratitude for you guys inviting me into the room, and also for the professional way that you're managing the chat as well. I've been to a few of these chat rooms over the past week and a half, and I must say that this one is the best moderated one that I've been a part of. So congrats to you on that. In closing as well, I just want to say that. Yeah, man. Trust me, man. It's easy. It's easy to issue the congratulations because it's plain as day. Trust me. The point that I want to close on, or the points that I want to close on around this whole thing is that I am happy that the bus system is being introduced. Definitely needed it. All of the hallmarks of a developing country include we're having this sort of our infrastructure, this sort of system in the place so that we can get our children to learn, to develop, and become the better tomorrow for us. Yeah, so that's good. No issues there for me. The buses that we're using now, regardless of whether he, she, or the old lady thinks that they should get a different one or whatever, these are the buses that we have, and we will continue to use them to the best of our ability. As I said, I'm more interested in the system than the actual buses at this time, because if it so happens that next week or next month we find that they're introducing safer, newer, better buses, I would expect that we would look to upgrade to those as well. So I like the fact that the buses are safe, but I am not necessarily married, for want of a better term, to the type of buses that we use now, because they can always get better. Yeah. And in closing, I think, yeah, man, definitely. So that's what we believe in wholeheartedly. And so to the fellow guest, I don't remember the name of the person who was speaking. Sorry for that. You mentioned about people looking and finding fault and all of them things there. Garnet still have a tune, so let them talk, keep them talking, right? You can't stop people from talk. I think that once the government have the system and set it up properly, and run it according to best practices, it'll go work, and you still not gonna get certain people for not complain. That's how some people are. The goal is to make sure we have a system that works and one that we can derive the benefits from, so that we can have a better Jamaica for our children and for all of us when we get old. So that's what I wanted to say before I drop. Again, thank you guys for the invite. Very well run meeting. I appreciate it. So take care.
Anita, I just want to say one thing to you before you leave. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all of the congratulatories and all of that. But I hope you'll be voting. I hope you're going to go to the polls. I hope there's one thing that's going to send you to the polls. Right? That's all I have to say to you. We appreciate you. We hope you come back, but we don't want to come here with a beautiful speaking and not go vote.
You're a no man. Listen. Don't worry, man. I'm paying attention. Me pass back to you, making how it go.
Here, yeah.
All right, sir.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good evening, bye.
You too.
Amazing love.
You can go or somebody else.
Good day, everyone.
Hi.
Good day, sir.
Yes, I just want to say I really appreciate you accepting my request, and yeah, just a few concern. Even though I'm not in the country, but I still have my sons there. They don't take public transportation, but I still concerned about, what is going on there, and seeing when I just see the government, make the initiative and getting the bus in the country, I thought it is a good thing, right? But we have to think about the prices that the government is paying for these vehicles. In my thinking, there's no way on earth I would ever pay $10 million for a second-hand vehicle. $10 million is equivalent to approximately 40-something thousand US dollars. And there's
Can I ask a question?
I'm listening.
Yes. Let me ask you this and that statement alone. We are in, what's the cost for a 2018 5 Series BMW in Jamaica today?
Yeah. That's about 15 million. Jamaican dollars.
Okay. Okay, sir.
But you're talking about brand new.
No.
Did you hear
That's
the?
not
No.
that's a brand new price.
Did you hear
No.
Did you hear the year that he asked the vehicle was?
You said 2015, right?
2018. That can't be brand new.
Yes.
2018. Yeah, you have 2018 vehicle that is brand new.
No.
No, sir, that is not true. That is not true. They may appear to be brand new, but they're not brand new. When you go,
What do you
when you,
consider as
when
okay,
you
what do
go,
you consider as being brand new?
when you go
My
on the
consideration of a
website,
brand new is a vehicle that is not driven.
Brand new
would you
second hand.
allow me
Yes.
to finish? Would you allow me to finish, please? When you go on the websites, when they're purchasing these vehicles from Japan or China, they tell you, they say these are brand new, second hand, as him said, partially used. Those are not new. They're not new vehicle. They come with mileage. Maybe a little bit 100, maybe some gone over 500, stuff like that. And I would want you to take your time out, go on these websites and do your own research to see what these used vehicle, especially one where you see yourself for 15 million, what the mileage is like. Sometimes them come as crash vehicles, but what we call write-off vehicle in Jamaica is not the same as what is written off in other countries. So you need to take a look
I
at
do
that.
have the experience with buying vehicle from China. But I never seen that brand new used vehicle. I seen used to new or used vehicle, brand new vehicle.
Yeah, but that's the
If you
same thing.
already,
Where I
the
say, so
point
how
is,
you are gonna say them new?
no, the point is, once a vehicle start using, it is considered a second-hand vehicle. And these buses, from my knowledge, has been decommissioned.
Have you ever
No.
So they have been used. They are used for 50 years.
Let him finish, guys.
I want you to check the term they use. They're
Let
not
him finish.
decommissioned.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I want you to check the term. The buses has not been decommissioned.
No.
And where did you get this data from that it was decommissioned?
All right, I want you to go on the website and type in American decommissioned school buses.
No, I'm asking you that the ones
there will be decommissioned school buses. No, you're gonna find decommissioned school buses, but these are not. We don't buy decommissioned bus. First of all,
no, the ones that the government buy for the country, they are decommissioned buses.
But then couldn't be commissioned and be sold, sir. Then couldn't be commissioned and sold. That means they're gonna be a part of a system. So you have to take them out of the system and decommission them either way.
Exactly.
Either them commission or they no commission, that's not it. And purchasing a vehicle for $10,000 US, getting parts, getting services, you don't get that anywhere else. So what are we saying?
Speaker.
Yes.
No, it's
this man don't know nothing about American vehicle. You hear me?
No, listen to me. My friend, I don't have to know anything about American vehicle.
This man knows nothing about American vehicle. He come in with the narrative.
Please.
Vehicles are vehicles without making America.
Let him finish.
Without making America.
Let him finish.
Without making Japan or wherever in the world it made or manufactured, it is a vehicle. It is a vehicle. If you purchase a vehicle, you're going to purchase it as it is. That's my whole point. My thing is though, right? I'm all about transparency. And if you're going to buy a vehicle for $2, tell me that you buy the vehicle for $2. Don't tell me that you pay $10 for the vehicle and the vehicle costs $2.
So let me ask you this. You just came up here. What I'm saying, you just came up here and you said the government buy vehicle for X amount, which means that you would have known the price that the government pay for the vehicle. That would give some level of transparency if you can find out what the government pay. The other thing we have to ask, my friend, is that things are when you say the buses are decommissioned, which means that the Americans aren't using them anymore.
Yeah.
Are they not being used because they're not good, or because America just buys some new one and we have to park them one?
No, they're upgrading their bus system. So they have been using these buses for a period of time, and they're upgrading their bus fleet.
All right, hold on, sorry. I'm not done with it yet. I'm not done with it, sorry. When you buy, you say you have experience in buying vehicles from Japan. Now, when you go up on a Japanese side and they have some 5-year-old vehicle sell, why are they selling those 5-year-old vehicles?
Why are they selling it?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, maybe they have a outflow of vehicle. They have abundance, so they're just trying to get rid of them.
And why them get no? There's a particular term why more you use. Why are they getting rid of them?
I don't know what term you want me to use. So if you want me to use the term, then you should just say it.
Because they decommission them one day in Japan. You can't drive them around in Japan anymore. You have to buy a new vehicle.
Well, if you want to say that.
Decommission them and then Jamaican buy them, not true. Including some of the coaster bus, including some trucks, including some cars, where they decommission, if to use your term in Japan, and we buy them at Jamaica, not true?
Yeah.
So decommission doesn't mean say they're not good. Not true?
No, I'm not saying nothing is wrong with buying a decommissioned vehicle, my brother.
No, you said it. You said I will no, your second statement here was that I would never buy a used vehicle for X amount.
Exactly. A decommissioned vehicle for X amount. I'm just talking about the price range that you're going to buy the vehicle for. Right? If you go to a car mart in Jamaica, right? And you see a Mark X, maybe a whole version of Mark X, and the dealer is selling for a huge price, and you know that it doesn't value that. Would you purchase it for that?
No.
Exactly, that's my point.
So who establishes the value? Hold on there. Who establishes the value in these buses?
I just want to say when we point to them, we can't even talk about. I'm going to tell you Chuck wrong too. If I maybe know, but then Jamaica people don't look fun. Years of car, mile, and all them things. When my bike can buy by the looks.
No, my friend. No.
Dean, hold on there, guys. Hold on.
Chavi, come here, show him something. The police chief carry of them. That alone tell you how much money it value. It no value nothing the way people sell it for. And people buy them. So no matter about in Jamaica, when you come out to things like them, they're not going to come bring that to you now, because we know exactly what it is.
All right. What am I bringing to you, bro? Is that if you're going to buy, if I ask you to buy a vehicle for me, right? And the vehicle costs you $10.
Talk about the bus.
I'm referring to the bus still. I'm referring to the bus.
No, you think you're referring about car.
Yeah, no, I said vehicle, bro.
Because
right?
I work in
listen to my question. I just asking you a question. Just hold on.
I drive for a huge bus company. And when they what you call it, the bus, they go park it in a dump place where nobody not gonna buy it no more. What they do, they not even rebuild those bus no more. They park it into a they call it a graveyard. So you want to tell me say at the graveyard they go the government go and dig out those buses and bring them to Jamaica? Bus is brand new second hand.
All right, fine. But what I'm saying to you, whether brand new second hand or whatever, what I'm saying to you, bro, if you're going to buy a vehicle, you're buying a vehicle for me, right? And the vehicle costs $1 million. Just saying. And you told me that
I want to ask you a question.
And you tell me that the vehicle costs $5 million. How do you consider that? How you view that?
All right. I see some things in the chat that come on, guys. Nobody with that in the chat. Nobody with that conversation there, because we can deal with this. We can deal with this, and amazing love will learn something. Just give us a chance at the time to deal with this.
Sir.
Go ahead, Aldin. No, Chef Wayne. Hold on, Chef Wayne.
Give Aldin a chance. We hear from you before. We haven't heard from her in how many terms, and we hear from you, and then we don't hear from her. So let's finally she wants to something.
Before me hang up.
Okay.
Before the bus, if it was even just make and drive off of the pit where we make and it don't brand new no more.
No.
I have mileage. It have some type of mileage on it.
My friend, I get that, and I'm not against in buying a second-hand vehicle, a second-hand bus, or a second-hand whatsoever.
That's what you
right? No, I'm not against it. But I'm saying to you, if you're going to spend my money to buy a bus, right, which the government is spending our money as taxpayer, because I pay tax in Jamaica if I'm not there. I pay land tax. You understand? If you're going to spend our money to buy a bus, just tell us the cost, the true cost.
But he did tell you, so you're laboring. He did tell you the cost, so you're laboring on a point that doesn't make sense.
You see what
and what is the value? What is
the cost that they spend for it?
Chef Wayne, could you hold on,
Chef
please?
Wayne, this is what Sheikah talked about earlier. So much people cannot.
Give me a talk, please.
Hold on,
Mr. Senior. Hold on. You're laboring a point that doesn't even make sense.
I'm laboring a point because
you are.
Why am I laboring a point?
Allow me to speak, please.
Okay,
Just allow me to speak. You came here and you said the bus prices were not accurate. We overpaid for them and all of that. And now you're going to say that you also mentioned a cost that it was 40,000, blah 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 blah. Next
no,
thing,
you're misunderstanding.
No, you're going to say.
No, you don't say. You're telling me what I'm trying to say. You can't do that.
But you said it earlier. You said we spent 10 million Jamaican dollars, which is 40,000.
Listen, me explain myself to you. I said the government said they paid 10 million Jamaican dollars for the bus.
You say you wouldn't spend over $10 million if you want to use
all right.
That's
I'm explaining. Would you allow me to explain myself, bro?
Go ahead.
The government claimed that they spent $10 million for each bus, right? Which is equivalent to approximately 40-something thousand US dollar, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying to you now. Those buses, a decommissioned bus, could never cost 40-something thousand US dollars.
First to comment, these buses aren't decommissioned.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Hold on, these buses
are second-hand bus.
Decommissioned buses. Hold on, amazing. I'm gonna need to talk now because we wait for everybody. And there's some things that we really have to deal with. So you're gonna listen now. The first thing you touch upon is that these buses are decommissioned, and you're wrong right there. So see, the next thing I'm gonna bring to your attention, you say you wouldn't buy no used vehicle for over $10 million. But I want to inform you that Canada buys from the same pool that Jamaica purchased. Yes, Canada, the first world country, buy the used American-made school buses to supplement their system. So you see this whole personalized disposition that you wouldn't do it.
Does Canada
work for it. Sir, me listen to you when you're talking up, me no disturb you. I listen. I listened when you talk, I never disturb you. Canada is not the only country who buys from this pool. But I specifically name Canada because I realize so people only respect US, Canada, and England. It seems like I don't the place, and anything they do is the standard. So that's why I mention Canada. Now here's how this bus system works. The buses are manufactured in the United States through subsidies given to the government, to the manufacturer, as well as the manufacturer. The government buys the buses from the manufacturer to put in the schools across the country. Right? You know that create a business for the manufacturer. Now, when they manufacture 1 year, if you go use the bus them from 2025, the business go out of existence. It's not feasible. So here's what they do to keep the system running. They create a secondary market, meaning after 1 or 2 year worth of use by the schools, they pull the buses from the schools, put them into the secondary market for sale. That's where we're buying these buses, right? Because the price would be way higher buying it brand new and from the manufacturer That's how used car market work. If you go to the Japanese market, where they are the manufacturers, it's in a Japan, buying a brand new car straight from the company is cheaper to them. We who use a different currency and who have to pay for freight and all of these things, I go pay a higher premium. What we pay for a used vehicle, the people where they in the country where manufacturer pay less. And people don't seem to understand or accept that. It is an economical strategy. They created a market. They see a need and they created a market. And Jamaica shop in the market, Canada shop, Antigua and Barbuda, and a host of other Caribbean countries that I could name. But the point I want to make is nothing is wrong with the vehicles. And especially the fact that they are built for purpose. Right? They are built with safety mechanism. And you know, me notice, when I said this last night, and ever since me come in on that topic, the next move the PMP is going to make, they're going to move the goalpost, and they're going to start talking about the cost. And
you know what? I hate this because I'm having discussion. I am not talking about. I am no PMP not labor.
I never said that you were a PNP.
No,
I'm talking about.
You're going
generally. I made a general statement, and like I said, I listened to you. So hold on, brother, hold on. See, no, you know, me come back to you. Me focus on you. What you said then? You said that we don't pay over 10 million, and you don't know the price. The price for the bus was listed. You don't know. You never want that. You just never want to hear that part. I guess, or you just missed that part because you start listening late. But the price, and you could have found the information if you truly wanted it. The price of the bus was listed, and I realized that you did some maths on your own and estimate that the bus will cost over 10 million based on the 1.4 million that was mentioned. But little did you know that the 1.4 billion that was mentioned covered not just the 110 buses, but freight costs, because these buses aren't made in Jamaica.
But they're waiver free. They're waiver.
Costs.
There wasn't any freight costs.
There's no freight cost.
Travel on the bus free?
Wait, hold on. So the bus them left from United States come to Jamaica for free? Or you never understand when me say freight costs?
Mention it again.
Sorry. I'm talking about the porting. I'm talking about clearance.
I never said that.
That's what. Sorry, not the freight cost. Yeah, actually, they have to pay freight costs. Yeah.
So freight cost is in it. 1 year parts is in the 1.4 billion that was mentioned. 1 year maintenance service, and not only will they be maintaining the bus, but they will be teaching Jamaican mechanics how to maintain the buses while they're at it. 1 year. Camera system, GPS tracking system is also included in this 1.4 billion, and also the retrofitting of the bus, meaning the cost for the mechanic them to come down and move the door from one side of the bus to the other side. All of this is in the 1.4 billion. So you're going to have to recalibrate your calculations to find out how much it costs for each of these line items, and then you can come up with a value if you want. Calculate on your own.
All right. So you're going to say to me that all those services, right, and those parts that they're talking about, they actually cost more than the bus itself, right?
Oh, you get to that.
Oh, because
can I say something here, please?
Let me
ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, amazing. Hold on. 1 minute, Mr. Senior, please. Let me just ask him one question before me rest. Are you here to actually find out information, or are you here to bring down the system? Because you can either with the system and have questions, or you're just against it and everything.
If you can, I applaud the bus service. I applaud that because I think it's a good thing. And anything for I put Jamaica.
So hold on. I don't believe that.
I think when it come on to Jamaica,
amazing. Hear this. Here's why I cut off the argument, because I don't believe it, and I don't believe it because you just placed a price on the lives of these children that have been dying since 2016. Hear me out. From 2016 to 2024, over 60 persons have died on their way to school or back home. Over 750 students got injuries from broken hand to concussions. You are putting a price on their safety, and you're saying 1.4 billion is far too much. That's why I'm going to accept your argument.
Can I say something now, please?
Go on, Mr. Senior, and then I would like to ask one question or two.
Sir, I appreciate you as a big man, not person, not intelligent and so on, but you don't speak that way. And with no disrespect, I'm going to tell you this. To me, it seems that you have come with a narrative to spread a narrative that you feel are for your feelings. No, we don't do feelings things up here. We do facts. So if we tell you this, that's what we tell you. You can go and find it. What you are telling me, you can point to me where I can find it. You are telling me, say, one of these bus costs $10 million. I haven't seen it anywhere that the bus costs $10 million. Because the bus, the 110 bus, and the parts, the retrofit, the cameras, and everything which is to do to the bus, plus servicing for a year, it's also in that $1.4 million, $4 billion. So what I want you to do for me then is to tell me you can go to Google and find out how much for one of those new bus. And when you tell me one of those new bus price, then we can say, all right, 2 year run off of this bus, so we could be selling it for XYZ. But if you can't tell me how much for one of the new bus, don't tell me to buy a new one. Because I wouldn't be having enough money to buy a new one. I have grandkids soon ready to take the bus. And that's where my whole entire life stretch on right now. And for me, I am pleased to see that after 20 years, which this should be on the road already and set and so on. It takes 20 years for us to put back this bus on the road. And you are coming now with a narrative, not anything in facts. Come to tell us that you are not going to buy no new vehicle for him $10 million. There's a lot of car in Jamaica sell for $10 million where all 2020. You see, so I don't. So to me, you just come here like you come up here to waste our time. You see, and with no disrespect, sir, that's the way I see it, and that's the way I have to put it. You don't come with something that you want to learn something. Then you come like you know, and you don't know shit. You see,
all right.
It pains me hard for let me just finish this.
Mr. Senior, thank you, Mr. Senior. But let me add this, guys. Our job here, we're a Labour Party supporter. But our job here is to inform persons that we may think are not properly informed. Now, amazing love, have some questions. And guys, listen to me. Whenever we are implementing a system, people are going to have questions. Now, this kind of question that he's having, the kind that the gentleman before had, these are discussions that can enlighten people about the system. Yes, these are sensible discussions to have. Right? The discussion we don't want to have is the man where I say, oh, the boss are going to kill our picnic. But no, that's just a simple question that we have the ability to answer. Yes, we have the ability and we have the knowledge to answer all these questions. So let us just answer them. You can answer them. Our job is to teach. Let us answer and
yes, boss, thanks. So, Mr. Seniors and Travi has mentioned most of what I was going to tell you. So, I will not labor on going to that. Do you, as somebody who buy and sell cars from Japan, do you know the cost of these buses, brand new? They're Type C. They're classified as Type C. Do you know the cost of one of these Type C buses, brand new? Amazing love.
Amazing love, we're not hearing you.
You're
Wait,
referring
wait.
to, oh,
Yeah,
I never know you threw that question at me. All right.
do you know the cost of one of these Type C buses brand new?
All right. What I can tell you, I don't know the prices for the buses
So
brand new.
how can you then say you would not pay what the government is paying when they don't know the cost brand new?
No, but listen to me. I calculated 10 million Jamaican dollars and I equivalent to the
But
US
you could
dollars.
calculate
Listen, hold
even
on,
50
hold on,
million.
hold on, hold on,
It is
hold on,
irrelevant. Hold on, me don't
hold
waste
on,
time with people, you know. Keep quiet and listen.
hold
Because
on,
they're here to learn. You don't know anything, so listen.
hold on, hold on,
You
hold on,
do
my
not
friend.
know anything, so listen. Me
Okay.
not have time for labor
All
and
right.
go around with
No
foolishness
problem.
with people. One of these bus, brand
No,
new, is 150,000 US. With all that Travi and Mr. Seniors have mentioned, we're paying somewhere around 84,000. You don't think that is value for money? You don't think that is value for money? The engine on these buses can go up to 300 to 500,000 miles. 300,000 to 500,000 miles before you even need to crack it and look at the transmission. The life of these buses, if they are maintained properly, is between 25 to 30 years. The average age of these buses that we get are 8-year-old. The average age, the longest mileage any of these have traveled is 160,000. What are you saying, my friend? Secondly, you say that you like the implementation, or the implementation is good. I would like you to name 3 good aspects of the implementation of these buses. Go. Yes.
Three good aspect. I mean,
Yeah, why?
you won't have the children to be traversing on public. I mean, the JUTC bus anymore. They'll be in a more safer environment by themselves, and I love that. Right.
2.
And
One
in
more.
terms of,
One more.
and in terms of avoiding to be skeptical with in terms of taxi man don't want to bring school kids and stuff like that. I think that that is a good thing because they avoid all of those issues, right?
All right. So I'm going to
listen to
correct
me.
you on one of them. We don't have JUTC bus. These buses will not be interfacing with the areas that the JUTC bus cover. So go on. One more. One more.
It's a rural bus system.
It's a rural
by
bus system.
corporate
Yeah.
area, sir.
It is nowhere near the JUTC.
But you have JUTC bus running in Linstead.
No,
and
man.
they are in Linstead.
They are not going to interfere with the current JUTC
Oh
routes.
well, you're
Yeah.
enlightening me on that. I never.
Yes,
aware
man.
of
That is what we are here for. So you have one more reason.
I think it's a good thing overall. I give you two. Anything else can't come to mind now, but I think it's a good thing.
So after being told all the information here today, what will be your growth going forward? And will you have any more problem?
All right.
The only issue I'm having, right, is just that I am not sure of your. I'm going to do some research on your statistics.
You should have done that before.
No, hold on. I've done my bit research, but in terms of what you had just suggested, I'm going to do a bit more. But moving forward, I would just love to see the government have the record. So if it costs $1, it's $1. That's
but
all.
you get the total.
Don't say it's $10, which is $1, and
No,
it's
man.
$1.
It's
Where has that happened?
1.4 billion.
When has that happened?
Amazing. Beg a minute. This amazing. So, are you saying that the government of Jamaica is giving wrong prices for these buses?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, no.
You don't know the price of the buses.
Hold on,
But you are able to determine this.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, Travis. Beg a second. This is important. What are the costs for these buses? How much they sell for? How much the US company will buy them from, sell them for?
If I'm going to talk from one of my sources is $18,500 US. That's what the government.
When are you
approves.
source? That's what the
Yes,
company sell them
what is your source?
$8,000.
What's your source? eBay or Amazon? eBay or Amazon is your source. Which one?
No.
Carmax?
Don't do that.
Is it
Don't
Carmax?
do that. I'm not expecting the government to buy anything on eBay or Amazon, though.
Is it Carmax?
Right, hold on.
Is it
Hold on,
Carmax?
Chavi. May I try to get something with it here? One of your source tell you, so the company where the government buy them for selling for $18,000.
$18,500.
Hold on.
$18,500. And that's where you think the government should buy.
No, that's
Well,
what.
I am reading some information here. I am reading some information here. Right? And it says that one of these buses used is sold at an average cost of $50,000. That's what me see on the people on website. That's what somebody said, go and give me. Brand new, this bus goes from type A, C, D, and MSB or something. I don't know what I'm doing. But it goes from 120, between 100 and 120, between 105 and 150, 120 to 180 and So these prices go in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for these buses. So if you get a used one for 50,000, it can be considered a waste because one of your source tell you that. Right? Because one of your source tell you that. Right? Now your source now have to find documentation of that and send cookie because we don't accept word amount. And then we are going to compare it with what the government said. And then we can see where the problem is here.
On a PMP, and that's what they come up with.
We're not gonna assume that.
May I tell you that?
No, we're not gonna assume that. But hold on, he Kingston 11 had asked him about some of the benefits of the system, and he couldn't, he don't know. So let us tell him some of the benefits. We use the time for that because your source again information. So let me give you real information. So the buses will have GPS tracking system, meaning there's an app that has been created that the parent or parents can log into, create an account, and monitor the specific bus which their child uses. So your child travel upon the 205, you watch the 205, you know the time into which your child is supposed to leave school, and it also has camera monitoring in the bus at all time. Camera for the driver as well as camera for watch over the students. Not only the camera will be there, but wardens will be on the bus, yes, school wardens, to make sure that the children, behave themselves accordingly while the buses are carrying them to and from school, right? These buses will inadvertently teach your children better time management. It also takes them out of the predatory system of taxi drivers, which is very evident in Jamaica. We don't have to guess and spell about that. Right? A whole heap of people putting them breed, right? And some of them even get take where we never see or hear from them again. So the bus is geared towards fixing that. Also,
Trevor, remember, you did have your personal taxi driver, when you go bad. Remember?
Yeah, I'm a
personal accomplice. Remember, them are accomplice. But continue.
Right. So, like I said, parents can monitor the bus times and the bus routes and they have a camera and the GPS. Also, it is $50 no matter where you live. It's $50 per ride per child. I'm sure they'll put in and pay a bus fare for $50 in Jamaica right now, but it's $50 per child per ride.
Chavi,
I understand how
You are assured as
Listen to me.
a professional certified driver.
Chavi, I want to tell him the price of these buses. Here, Chavi, and this, I'm in the United States right now, and this is not brand new. Here.
Pandemic. So much so that it's hard to keep up with an aging fleet.
You hear it, sir?
We wanted to know how all of the school districts in Central Florida are dealing with this and how they might.
Let's see me can rewind this.
We asked questions and you could read the answer.
Let's see me can rewind this thing because I want to hear the price of it.
It not come cross here.
These costs, a single school bus in Marion County costs $160,000. Compare that to 2020, when it was only $105,000.
Every day the price gone up.
Transportation supervisor supervisors today who said costs are rising rapidly post-pandemic, so much so that it's hard to keep up with an aging fleet. We wanted to know how
All right.
the school was very successful.
You hear? These prices go up every year, every day actually. So when we talk about these buses cheap, tell that man sir, if we talk to Peter Bunting and Dayton Campbell and Mark Gold.
So all right,
Why you
let me
not
ask
more
you,
funny?
one more
No, I
thing.
didn't say, I didn't say the buses were cheap. I didn't say that they are cheap.
That's what you say, boss man.
Hold on, we are go back way. A benefit we are dealing. The man don't know the benefits of the bus because Kingston asked him for name
You need
tree.
to come down, man.
He
You
struggled
need
at
to
it.
come
So,
down.
No, leave him,
hold on,
Chef.
no, we have to give him the information because he
Chef
say
Wayne,
have
can
to
you
give
stop, please?
other information, you know. So we
Oh.
have to give him the actual information. You understand me? So it's also
Hold on. I want to say
cashless
something,
system.
Chief. Hold on, I want to say something, Chief. Chief, let me tell you this, bro. You don't need to get so sentimental about this, you know, right? I am here talking about a concern that can affect or that can benefit the country. You don't need to get so sentimental about it, bro.
But what kind of concern you going to talk about?
No, this is not about who is in. This is not about your party or no
Amazing
party.
love
This is
will not
about.
go. I know this way right now. So sorry about that. Just let us focus, please. Thanks. Arlene, are you using your box?
As I
Can
said
borrow
to
it
you,
for
as
a
I said
moment,
to you,
please?
amazing. As I said to you, amazing. You know, I mentioned other benefits. I also want to let you know that it has a cashless system on these buses, right? Cashless system. So the idea of theft of bus fare, we not gonna have that problem, right? Because it's a cashless system that is on these buses. Also, I want to point out to you, because I say it to them, I'm gonna say it again. Since 2016 up to 2024, I think it's in the region of 65 students had died either going to or coming from school. And another 750 plus were injured, broke hand, broke foot, all of that. I'm begging you as well as other people under the sound of my voice, do not put a price on the safety or the lives of these children. To say that 1.4 billion is too much to spend to try and save the life of children is very ludicrous and hypocritical in my humblest of opinion. You know why? The so-called opposition is offering $1 billion to propagandists on TikTok.
Listen, my concern wasn't too much money that's spent. All I want to know money is spent properly. That is the only concern I have. Listen to me, man. My kids used to once take the school bus. And you know what I did? I made the sacrifice to make sure it's a personal vehicle to bring them to school. So safety is utmost when it comes out to children for me.
Well, that is good.
So I'm talking about how money has been spent. I'm just concerned about if the money has been spent the right way. Because at the end of the day, you know, it is our money, you know, me, you, and everybody here money that is spending. You know.
All right. Okay, sir.
So
Okay,
amazing. We're going to get a deep here. We have to change the name. Let me just say something, Mr. Earl.
One at a time. Hold on.
I get told like lose my thought.
All right,
Anyway,
go on.
So even, sir, you come here and you get all the information where you want, and are you still telling us that the information that we have given you, you're still not satisfied?
No, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you guys.
No, but it's time for me to ask you. Just make a statement.
He moving the goalposts.
No, I'm comfortable what you're saying. I'm good with what you're saying. I'm not going to do my own research after I've speech.
All right. Shika, mute everybody for me. Let me. Mr. Uriel, mute that for me, Uriel. Let me try this with Amazing Love. This issue of a rural school bus system could have been solved. We were not supposed to be having this discussion today.
Exactly.
About a rural school bus system. You know why? Because as I said before, I don't know if you heard what I said. The government of the Jamaica Labour Party in 2010 ordered 230 brand new buses to start a rural school bus system. Are you aware of that information, Amazing Love?
No, I'm not. I was not aware of that information.
All right. The Jamaica Labour Party, the Ministry of Transport, under the leadership of Mike Lester Henry, ordered 230 buses, brand new buses, to start a rural school bus system in Jamaica. That order was placed in 2010. The Jamaica Labour Party lost the election in 2011. The PNP took office in 2012. And the first thing they did was to cancel that order of 230 buses. Are you aware of that information?
No, you're bringing it to my attention now, you know.
All right. So if that system did go through from that time until today, this discussion will be obsolete. And now is the very same party again is coming to tell the government, say, you should have buy some new bus instead, or you shouldn't buy them bus here, when this problem was created by their doing. We could have had a silk bus system long time.
Yeah,
Let me factual information amazing, and I can say this, and you can do research and check this for me. Every single thing that is good for Jamaica, the People's National Party is on record as being against it. Everything, including our independence. Including our independence, the PNP was against it. They were against building the gullies across Kingston to channel the water. Everything that is good for Jamaica, they were against it.
Yeah, because it's just politics. It's just politics that the two of them playing. You know, whether, you know, I can't understand. Well, I don't expect anything better still, but I mean, put the country first, bro. Put the country first, you know?
Right. Let me ask you the opposite question now. Can you name a policy?
Hold on. If PMP is doing something wrong and JP come in power, continue with it. If JP is doing something good, so if they're doing something
I guess you will be choosing Jamaica.
Huh?
I guess you will be choosing Jamaica.
Let me finish this on the level. I want to hear him.
No, I'm saying if either party is in power and they're doing something good, if the other one is coming in, continue with it. You understand? It doesn't.
Yes,
this is the people and the country politics that you have a space for that. Fine.
But here is the problem now, Amazing Love. Here's the problem now, and you can research this and challenge me another time. There is only one party that has practiced that. We say if we come in and we see you start something good, we will finish it. The PMP has not practiced that. I tell you about the school bus where them cancel because I never them started.
Yeah.
Commission marketing downtown Kingston. That was about 80% complete when the PMP come to office. Up until this day, under the PMP, was spending 18 years after that. Not one single nail was drive down there under PMP government because I never them started. Right? So only one party have that record to continue. If we see something good where you start, we now go stop it. The PMP don't have that record.
Okay.
Before
the PMP have today. Hold on, Joel. The Mark Golden today tell his people that if he's elected, he's not being elected to continue what the Labour Party started. His words, not mine.
So whether it's good, even if it is good, he's not going to continue.
Even if it is good, even if it is good, including this very bus system, including this very bus system.
The new social housing initiative too. All of these in jeopardy, you know, because his argument is they're going to build 50,000 houses. They're going to give away billions to people to pay a down payment at NHT that doesn't require a down payment anymore. They're going to give away $1 billion. Now this $1.9 billion, where the money going to come from? A lot of things are going to get scrapped.
Let me tell you something.
And they said it. It's no guessing. He said it.
I think what Mark Golding, his idea is just bullshit straight up, bro. It doesn't make no sense to me no time at all. You understand? So I'm not one favorite.
Well, my amazing love, I hope when the time come, you will buy a plane ticket, come to Jamaica, and choose Jamaica, my friend.
Me just want to tell him, say,
Repeat
P.
what you
Diddy,
just say.
Andre Stefano, P. Diddy Stevenson is not credible. So your source will tell you the $18,500 is not credible source. That's all me come up here to tell you.
Repeat what you just said, sir.
Hold on there. I do the man tell him the number.
I do the man tell him. I do the man tell him. Do the man have one? Somebody send it to me today. Somebody send it to me and I engage me and I want debate about it.
What name is that?
I do the man.
That is the problem. People are unwilling to do research on their own. They just want to hear.
Who they do the man? Is somebody on this?
Say something.
That's another assignment for you.
You want what would you say?
That's another assignment.
We'll show you what invoice.
You do the man asking a question.
I'm not gonna follow up on that name at all.
The same place where you see invoice. Say $18,500 fee bus them.
Yeah.
Aye. And a credible source.
You know, they have the electric one. They have the electric bus cost $450,000.
Anyway, guys, it was good talking to you. I share my point and
Mr. Love.
Some information from you guys. So, but I'm going to have to leave, So,
Mr. Love.
All right, guys, have a good
day. Before you go, Mr. Love. Mr. Love, before you go, they have the electric one cost $450,000.
Well, I'm not going to disbelieve you.
With you now being baptized, you're going to change.
It's not about the price. It's not about the price. I mean, 74 kids is priceless,
Amazing. Amazing. Now that we have been enlightened, we're going to change the name from Amazing Love that to JLP is amazing. That is the name it was coming in.
I won't be labeled. No, I'm going to stick. You can't change my name to Jamaica. You can't change my name to Jamaica.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, we can't change it to Tuesday.
It's amazing, sir. It's amazing.
I will die for Jamaica. I'm not going to die for PNP now, Labour Right.
Well, and guys, amazing. It was a pleasure to have you here also, sir. Good sharing a little discussion with you. I mean, we don't mind having people discuss things with us. We don't have to agree with everybody's views, but having a proper discussion is what is important. We appreciate you here. And one thing we've always encouraged here, sir, is that people need to do their own research. I don't encourage people to listen to me and believe what me say. I encourage people, if you hear me say something, go and research it and come back. And that's what we encourage people to do. Just do your own research. Information is there.
Before you go, Amazing Love. More impart something into your thinking, just in case you're planning to come to Jamaica to vote, right? On this particular matter, let me pause this. Hold on. On this particular matter, right, of the school bus system, the PNP is against it, spending $1.4 billion for 110 buses. What they're saying is that their plan is better, and their plan is to give $1.9 billion. Trust me, when you do the calculation, it's way more, but them quote the number, $1.9 billion is what they are willing to give away, right? No dividend will be derived from it. They're going to give away $1.9 billion. No dividend to get from it, right? Now the government will have displayed better thinking, better execution, better ideas by spending $1.4 billion. That's, in my estimate, about 600 million less or 500 million less, like for 1.9, right? To get us buses, 110 of them that have service life of up to 15 or more years.
Yeah, I think the buses are
they spend less money that gave us a dividend that will last at least 15 years.
I want to ask a question. I will
love to stay and chat more because there are many other things that I could talk about, but I have to run now.
Well, we are here every day, so you feel free to come back whenever.
Amazing. Before you left, 1 second before you left. 1 second. Just give me 1 second of your time before you left.
Yeah, brother.
More, you see, you sound young like me. See, I'm gonna beg you. You see,
a whole voice this morning.
Hold on, you see, we make a mistake in 1989 by staying away from the pole and make the PMP take over the country. I'm telling you, and every other well-thinking Jamaican, please don't make the same mistake again and talk about we are stay away from this because PMP and JLP are the same. We are not the same. The JLP is far more a better government for the Jamaican people than any other government. And check the history if you think a joke. And like every single time the PMP get this country, the country going a hole. I'm going to leave it in the 90s. So me I tell you as a brother, come here buy my ticket in because I shall be there. I mean, I never did it. So me I tell you the same thing to my brother.
You know, I'm going to leave this with you. My brother said to me that these buses should have been in place for a long time now, right? This shouldn't be something that we are so excited about because this is it's a necessary thing. So my thing is no. For me to pick a side, I would have to see more great things being done. You know, something like moving.
Okay, give me an example. Give me an example.
Moving towards infrastructure, manufacturing and stuff like that. Something that can boost our country. So
it's going on.
Like the brand new urban center in St. Thomas, the Montego Bay Perimeter Road. The
factory just reopened.
Roads and certain type of building are basic stuff for me. You understand? Those things are just small things.
The logistic business center by Caymanas. You have that one?
By Caymanas?
Yeah, by Caymanas. There's a $4.5 billion logistic business center constructed. Yes.
There's a tech park. There's a tech park that was open in Spanish.
Yeah.
And there was the new FCJ factories place that was open. And where it open again?
Chuck.
Garments was
6 miles.
open.
6 miles, Chuck.
Many of those are those private sector investment, and that is good. That is good.
That is not private sector investment, sir.
More involved in
no, sir. Sir, that is not private sector investment. FCJ is not. FCJ is
okay.
Garmex is not a private sector. It is the government of Jamaica that is doing it.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I think you need to come here more often because you lack some knowledge, and I think you need to come here more often.
I want to leave this with you.
All right, going to jump leave you guys now. Have a good time.
All right, goodbye.
All right, take care.
Please, before you go now, to leave this one word. You know who benefit from this more than anybody else? The people who so-called poor, who used to have to find 2,500 send their children to school. Now they can only find 500.
I agree.
1 for 5 days.
I agree.
But never you forget that, sir. So we are looking after the poor.
All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Nice speaking to you.
I tell
Boy, are the privileged people, they must speak pan the bus, you know, because this man I pitney them no go pan public transportation. When I'm saying by private vehicle for take care of them. But him have concern with pricing for bus. Lord Jesus, Peter Bunting are the same thing. Peter Bunting say him pitney them now go pan bus, and Peter Bunting pitney never going on public transportation yet. Jesus,
I would want to ask Amazing Love if a brand new vehicle in buy. So put them in a brand spanking new 25 or 24. No, I don't want to ask him that, but you know what I mean? You know me now go follow it up.
But there is something that I'd like to say. one of the newer buses cost what, 160,000 on the say cost?
Yeah.
Up to that, right? So if we're getting a bus with 80% life remaining for half or less than half of the price, is that a deal or no deal?
It's a big deal.
So how we come to the conclusion that the value of the bus is not accurate? How did we get there?
Because you see,
You understand what I say, right? Because the
Yeah,
bus
what,
have
what they're trying to say,
80%.
Shika, hold on, what they're trying to say, is that the government now get through figure them a overpay. Because me say this already, them are gonna start talk about that, them are gonna try to turn it into a scandal. Say, oh, money and in a right, and because that is the whole purpose of producing.
Right, because
if
we have 80%.
I came to say that, I came to say that, Travis. You think
If
that's
we
what I came
have
to say.
80% life left in something, and me get it for 50% of the cost, plus me I get maintenance with it, plus me I get parts with it, and other things, training for my staff to operate on these vehicles. How is it not a good deal?
but
Tell me.
Shika, these buses, me just put it on YouTube a while ago. These buses, every day these buses price go up. Every day these prices go up.
And Chef Wayne, the prices are going to go up, because remember the steel deal with Canada and US right now that is in limbo, the tariff, right? Because I just heard that Canada is doing a retaliation or retaliatory deal, right?
You know what?
Tariff. So
You know how much
it
one?
is
Me not
going
cut
to
you.
go up.
But you know how much one of the electric one? The electric bus, cost 450,000.
There's something that I need to say to you guys anyhow. We can have discussion without labeling people. And this is why a lot of people afraid to come on the live where we can get to maybe even educate them. So please, I'm going to ask you guys not to tell people, say, yeah, PNP, we know, we can read the narratives, we see it, we know it. But sometimes it's a bit discouraging because, as Chuck always say, ants follow fact all the time. So them crowd are gonna follow them, people are gonna follow them. People would want to join the discussion sometimes, but they might say, oh, they are gonna label me as PNP. Sometimes some of these people really don't care about politics, but when we get them here, they ask pertinent questions which allow us to debunk some of the questions we are going in a lot of people's head. Because trust me, what he was just saying is what a lot of people is saying, right? So I would just like us to be a little bit more gentle and just probably not label.
Here, where the Shika? Here, Aldin, you were dropped in. I think Shika did ask if you're still here, and she didn't get the answer. So she did remove you to bring out somebody else. So she didn't drop you. But let me
She can get my space.
Hold on there with you.
Yeah?
She can get my space if she
Hold on
wants.
there with her. Let me add something to what Shika said. Guys, there are hundreds of PMP platforms on TikTok where people scroll through, listen to them talk, and they will scroll and listen to me talk. They might come on this platform. Now, the question that they will ask is gonna sound like something where they hear from a PMP platform. It doesn't mean them believe it, but them listen, just like how them listen to me, they listen to the other person, and they're gonna hear things, and they're gonna come now and say, let me ask this question over here. Yes, we know the answer, but we can't operate under the premise because we know everybody else knows. When we're there at daytime is to teach and give all the information. And I've always said there's no
common.
Right.
Common sense
There's
is
no
not
question
common.
that they can ask. There's no question that they can ask that we cannot provide an answer to.
Chuck,
When we cannot, we will tell them so we don't have it. Go ahead with that.
That's something that we've been hammering home. But something was pointed out earlier that the PMP, I made a video 2 days ago and I did my analysis on the PMP movement. The PMP cannot afford to backtrack on the argument in terms of how they stand against the buses. Because one, if they do that, they're going to come off as weak to the voters. They're going to come off as a party that has no idea what they are doing. And they cannot afford at this point in time to seem as if they're weak, unsure of what they're doing. And in the only way they can come off of this is to pursue it and turn it into a scandal. And I said this 2 days ago in the height of everything, that the PNP will try to turn this bus thing into a scandal, and they will feel, they will draw, they will paint a narrative, and at the end of the day, they want to cloud out everything. And if you look at these people who are saying all bus, they do not live in rural Jamaica. They live in the corporate era where they have access to the JUTC and all of these things. If I were seeing people from country who are impacted every single day by the taxi service. I was a taxi man. I run taxi from 2010, thereabout. I was running taxi on and off. And then in 2019, I took up taxi until 2021. Right, so I was running taxi. And it's sometimes you feel bad in the morning when you bam, you go out there and I pay picking for the car and you pass adult. Right? So I had to make arrangement with adults. So in the morning, you know, so you only have one chip. Adults me I care specifically because I need to pick up these people because they are my regular customer. So we make a part that okay, every morning I'm gonna come for you. And when I see the kids, they can't genuinely can't carry them because they have 6 adults up at one stop, so I go pick up because I made an arrangement with them. And I will come 2 or 3 trips and the kids are still there, unable to reach school on time. Majority of the time, these kids are late. Now, when you have a dedicated bus service to these kids, they will show up to work on time. Not only will you protect them from predators, human traffickers, and everything else, you will make sure that they reach to school on time and they can focus on school things. You have warders who are and supervisors that are on this bus. No loud music not play, no loud music not playing. These kids will be focusing, and I'm sure that the level of concentration as well as the results that we'll be getting from rural areas because of these buses in terms of performance will drastically increase. And these people who do not, who use, when they ask half of them, okay, do you have a vehicle? Yes, I do. Do you allow your child to take taxi? No, I don't. Why? They will give you all the unsafe reasons why their children are not supposed to travel on a taxi, but yet they want your child to travel on a taxi.
Yes, Mark Wolin, and Peter Bunting, they don't take taxi and take bus.
Ask them why. Ask them why. Why is it that you do not allow your kids to take public transportation?
Just give me a few seconds now. Even everybody. So I saw a little vox pop on the Gleaner this morning on Instagram with like around 6 parents, and it was overwhelming. They all of them wanted it and give support to the system, to the bus system. So
The Principal Associations welcomes it. The National
Taxi
Parent
Association
Teachers Association welcomes it. Everybody is welcoming the initiative. The only person that is out here making a meal out of it and trying to get political points is the PNP and their surrogates.
Yeah, but what I want them to do is interact or engage the students themselves and ask which one they prefer. If they rather the bus system or they are continue with the taxi and product stuff in all in the
I honestly don't think it's a decision for the students.
No, I know it's not a decision, but just to get just to gauge
Did you see the video? Did you see the video in Portland where the kids were applauding when the bus was coming?
That alone show you.
All right.
So if we
all right, go ahead.
If we could invite some of the people from Portland who have been benefited so far to come and let their voice be heard on this platform, that would be a plus for us. Secondly, what this school bus, rural school bus system does is that it brings the benefits to the rural areas that the urban areas have been getting. Since we have had the reduction in fares, it is only the children in the urban area and the parents that are benefiting when it's all of Jamaica who's paying taxes. So this is a plus for the rural area. because they are now being treated equal with the people
Right.
living in the inner city. And that can
Agree.
only be a plus.
Kingston 11, pleasant afternoon to you, sir.
All right, ma'am.
I don't remember if anybody remember. I think that was the first time the Prime Minister declared it's an act of terrorism in Heri's constituency in Montego Bay when I think there was a gang war. I don't remember if it was
And
gang.
2 boys were unalive.
No, I come in. No, they shoot up the taxi with the little boy, in there,
I remember it.
and
Remember it.
yes, the taxi driver say he was going
Guys,
to
can you
drop
top up
off.
the screen and get me to 50,000?
He was going to in South Spring. Yes, he was going to drop off some other kids past the little boy yard and going to drop off other kids and coming back, and on his way back the vehicle was shut up because the youth saw his enemy in the vehicle and the little boy was unalive because of that.
I remember.
I'm just saying that to say our kids are at so much risk when they are in these vehicles. Not that the taxi man is bad, but nobody, when I think nobody I got all, I go say them enemy they on the school bus. So them I go shoot up the entire bus. I don't think so. There's also this video with this young lady. I think she disabled. Well, she looks special. She looked like a special needs to me, right? And what happened? The doctor had sex with her while the driver was in the bus, and the man come on her face and released the video. The little girl, I think she was in a purple and yellow uniform. These are the things that happen to our children. We now go have an immediate fix. Every school now go have a bus immediately, but we will save some situations. The video was out there. The little girl looked like I want special needs the girl. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad for her because me know say looking at her I could tell that she have one little special needs thing about her. And the doctor took advantage of her and abused her. Right? So when we hear this conversation about our kids and all of that, all of them something they come back to my mind. You know, all of them come back to my mind, and I just have to say it's just a very good initiative, and we just need to celebrate it, applaud it for what it is. Yes, she was trying to cover her
On the
face.
screen
I
here,
choose Jamaica.
these are the ones they use in Cayman. These are the older versions, and they're there in Cayman carrying the kids in Cayman, and you don't see people complaining about them.
Hey, winner.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we just mentioned a while ago in the headspace. That involves them decide to them try a thing, eh?
Talking to yourself is a sign of mental health, you know. So what you mean you have to say something in your headspace?
No, I just I made zone and still and we just analyze the whole situation, you know. So I just
me don't know if me check you out, so me just check by
no,
you.
but the only thing that make me go down baby that if the PMP they win a joke. Anyway, maybe I say
word in?
no, I'm now we don't can't win. Anyway,
Can
the
I
boss.
get a word in now?
All right, go ahead.
It's been about 2 hours.
I'm gonna heal for you.
Well, what I have to say is, ever since I was a little girl, if we had these systems, a lot of us would have been better off. I had to, as a matter of fact, in the 90s when I was going to school, and when the People's National Party won, I think it was 1990, one of them years. 89, yes. I had to literally stop going to school because I couldn't afford it anymore. Because of the I'm gonna call them the People's Republican Party. because that's just how they act. They have a bag of nothing coming out of their brain. They don't have no facts. They just listen to every rumor that they hear. They don't do any research. They don't pay attention to anything. They just run with whatever they think, and then it is a fact. And if you ask them how they know, they tell you they know. This bus system, like everybody is saying, well, most people are, is gonna be so great for the betterment of the rural community. I have seen where children leave the house extra early and still end up going to school late. Are when they're getting home, they get home late because they can't get to get a taxi. They push them out, or they have to be fighting to get into a car. With the bus system, they will have a designated route. So they can go to school early and get home early and actually get out of trouble. Because they won't be loitering on the street.
Yeah, that's facts. Yep. Yeah, because sometimes when they get let out from school, then get up on the road, and the next thing they end up in a fight with other picnic. Somebody get all type of thing. No, man, go home.
Yeah.
And you know one thing more says to the parents them too. This and not just up to the government to fix everything and put in the school bus and make it work. As parent, you gotta play your part. You gotta let your child know so they must have decorum, have behavior on the bus, and no vandalizing the buses, because this is not just for you. I think people who come after you.
Right.
You have to be strict and stern by them, and then you say, oh, it's school over at a certain time, the bus will leave, get on the bus and get home. Be over with it. Parents have to play a part too. Because the children are our future, but it's not just the government that will have to raise these children from the future. Parents, get it together.
Everybody have to play a part in building the country.
Let me know when I can come in.
You can go ahead.
Oh, can you go? You're hearing me?
Loud and clear, man.
All right. So I had the opportunity to, as you know, we're CARICOM, our 49th meeting with CARICOM leaders.
Yes.
I think it concludes today, and I had the opportunity to work with these people at the Hyatt Hotel. I'm not gonna give out too much information. Don't ask me how I got there and how I ended up in these people's company. But I had the opportunity
You're gonna bring me
to meet the Prime Minister of Montserrat, Barbados, several of our neighboring countries. And what I can tell you coming out of the CARICOM meeting is that Jamaica is the starlight of the Caribbean. Jamaica is the pearl of the Caribbean. Jamaica is the driving force. And not to toot my horn too early, but we might just very well become the superpower of the Caribbean. Why am I saying this? The presentation at this meeting for all the days, from shaking hands, welcoming all these people, serving them, escorting them to their rooms, assigning their butlers and all of these things. Coming to Jamaica is as if it's a dream for them, because this is not the Jamaica in 1989, 70 or 60s. This is Jamaica in the 2000s. And it could only be achieved because of our Prime Minister, the one and only Dr. Andrew Michael Hollis. The presentation that the JCF did, Dr. Blake displayed, having all those leaders, including Mr. Gonzalez, who came here to chide with the PMP and the platform, knocking our government. He was head cook and backwasher in the expo of where Dr. Kevin, our police chief, and all those other persons were demonstrating to them what Jamaica's defense platform looks like. They were in awe. But even before that, in the police expo that has recently launched, remember the chief, I think he's from Bermuda or something, the police chief, remember that speech that he gave came from his mouth, that we are the driving force of the Caribbean right now. We are the envy of the Caribbean. If all these people are so amazed with Jamaica's growth and development, why is it that us as Jamaicans sit down and listen to the People's National Party and their foolish rhetoric and don't do research for themselves? They're not following any member of government. They don't listen to anything that is presented on our platforms. All they do is sit and listen to the People's National Party spilling lies, disinformation, vandalizing all the good that is happening in our country. I have spoken, Malahu Fort was there. I saw Peter Bunting in the lobby, and honestly, I looked at that man with disgust, because I looked at him, and when I looked at him, I stood there and I said to myself, you know, this smile that this look that is always on his face, as if he's always smiling. I looked at him and I said to the person beside me, I said, what is he doing here? Why is he here? What's his purpose here? Because at one point, I wonder if he come, because with all the soldiers and the police that is decorated and right around the hotel and the roof everywhere, I'm just wondering when come about, because him just never fit in an atmosphere where, you know, people are just having a good time and just it. I looked at him and I looked at his dress code and I was saying that, imagine. I was just amazed. I saw so many government officials from the Prime Minister's office. I shook and I spoke with them. You know, I said, listen, I am one of them who are out there on the political platform, along with many other GLP supporters, driving the nail home because we choose Jamaica. And they were so amazed with the fact that they are young people. I spoke with one other person, not gonna call her name. And the lady took my information because she said, listen, you're telling me that young people like you and yourself. Me say, yes, man. I said, middle age as well. Young, old, and indifferent, we are all out there. And some of the things that I was sharing with the lady, you know, I felt so small because, you know, them people are big, high-profile people. When you're not them present, you know, you're not kiss ass, but, you know, it's like a wow moment. And they're saying, listen, I have to get you information because they're in awe. Them no know say we are here fighting for this third term. So I am just sharing all of this because I want Jamaicans to know who are watching here and now that we are sitting on gold. We are sitting on a gold mine right now. And if we put our feelings aside, speaking with these people, things that I can't share on here, because I promise that I will not. If only you could know some of the things that are coming to Jamaica land we love, you would shut your mouth with respect, hold up your stress, give this Prime Minister a third term and fourth term too, and wait for the river to burst because the dam is about to break. If some of you folks play fool and go to the polls and make a fool of yourself, you are going to have yourself to blame. I never have to come up and share this, until I keep it to myself. But just for the people who are not thinking straight because you feel like say you're not living nowhere good, you feel like say you should have owned a car by now, you feel like say your pitney should have not go to prep school, you feel like say you're not earning enough money. Yes, me understand that. I feel you. I hear you. I understand. Me come out of one room, so I know what it is to live in a one room with siblings and parents and grandparents. I know. But what if you should give this government the next term and some of the desires of your heart might just be met? And you can give praises to God and say, boy, me did really upset with Andrew, but me glad me wait. Yes, the road them bad. And I'll know Spark program can reach in your community. All you see are patching. Yes, me understand that. I have been waiting for 5 years for my road to be fixed. And now, some part of it, when me walk a man in time, me a ring my foot. Shoes dirty up, me have to take tissue, clean it off by the time I reach down the road. But my MP assured me that it is on the Spark program because it is waste of money for him to lay a band-aid over a broken sore. It is disheartening when you wake up, when you see the road, the condition of the road. But what? What did PMP do when they were there? Nothing. So you see, just like how the PMP them in my community never have nothing to say when the road did bad, when them did in a power, me not have nothing bad to say now when JLP in a power. Me I wait for my time. I am young. You think I don't want to own a house for myself? You think I don't want to go to the ATM when me get me pay and see 500 million in it or 500,000 in it? Because obviously, we don't have to get that much after tax to really be able to, feel good. If the PM raise minimum wage tomorrow morning and put your 10 grand, it's still not going to solve some of the problem. You know why? Supply and demand, the cost of living, nah. That is why I'm saying go upskill yourself, go back a heart. And yet still, the PMP, not even that them not introducing in them community. Not even that them not put out in the constituency and say, oh, youths, come, when you get on yourself upskilled. So I am just saying to us, while the PMP is beating the school bus system, I want you to just imagine, even if your child, your community don't get a touch in this year coming, Think about the fact that the economy might just grow in such a way that next budget cycle, they're able to purchase 210. And each time they keep adding to the fleet to the point where every single school can get a bus in a Jamaica. PMP, I spoke with somebody from Ministry of Health today. I met a lot of people. And she works at the head office. And I was talking to her about the health sector. And, she said, Raymond, I'm so tired. You don't know the magnitude of work that we are doing. The lady, she was so exhausted. She had must about 4 bags, 2 hang on her hand, 2 hang on her shoulder. And I walked with her, I spoke with her, and I said, I understand what is happening. I understand that our health sector need an overhaul. And she said, listen, I am so busy that I can't even keep up with social media. I know that my boss, Dr. Tufton, is doing a lot. I know he's out there. The projects are going on, but I have bigger fish to fry. And I said, don't worry yourself. That is why persons like me and others are out there showing and teaching Jamaica what is happening. She said, listen, this coming from you, we appreciate, because we feel as if that our efforts are not being felt or unappreciated. Do you think it is easy to be working teeth and nail and every day the effort that you're putting out is undermined? How would you feel if you go to work working double, triple shift only to hear from your boss and the people you're serving that, listen, one do not make no sense? We have become a country of ungrateful set of people. And I'm being factual, it's true. Not everybody is, but majority of Jamaica right now, that is what they're displaying. This government can do nothing good for us or for some of us, and we appreciate it. When the PNP was in power, we get a percentage of whatever they could hand out. Now they're doing an all-island tour, beating down. I see Mark Golin going around, stopping in every square he can find, and him talks till him winded and I run out of breath. Me I go give $1 billion to taxi man as a subsidy for carry children go to school, because the bus system it all and it now work. And me I go give $1 billion there so. And me I go give $1 billion to content creator. And him just a walk and dash with money like him have no sense. Him just a walk and hand out and promise. And it has no base, it has no standard. Him not talk where the money ever come from, and everybody just a jump up on a rail. Why? Because them like to hear the sound of figures. Let me say this to you. You see, this struggle we are struggling now, it is a result of FinSac. It is a result of their bad policies. It is a result of their mismanagement. Them call it youthful exuberance. This government has done nothing but try to stable the economy and the dollar so it not slide. That is why we have a reserve, a national reserve of $5.8 billion US. So we cannot afford to play fool of ourselves because of how we feel and going our feelings. Andrew Holness locked down the country in a COVID. Everywhere else did lockdown. So why people still a carry belly today? I said them now vote him because him did lock down the country. And people couldn't, and him did stop people food. Look how many countries did lock down in a COVID. And if him did Lego the country, because these are conversations that I am having with people. If him did Lego the country in a COVID and we get to do whatever we wanted, what would have happened to us today? How many of our children would we bring COVID go home go give, and our elderly who live in the house we live in? When you go a party and wine out the girl them waist and do all of these things. Huh? I hear taxi man attack. This man and I had a conversation on my way to the hotel with a taxi man. Mr. Driver, what do you think about the school bus program? Right now that the government, that was how we started. Right now is a give and take. Mr. Why? Because right now the government are fighting taxi man. Mr. How? In what way? He mentioned something about when road license value 100,000 and when the vehicle get old and try to sell the vehicle, you could have trade this and do that, and the government take with that now, so it causes them to suffer. But okay, whatever that is, we don't know about that. That are your business. But why is it wrong to have a school bus system for the students? Why? Why is it wrong? Right now, the government are fight against. That is all I'm have to say. Every taxi man right now plan to go at the post for go vote orange. You know why? Because them here say them are gonna get subsidy for carry school business. The government mess up the system. Me a taxi man I say right now the government truck drivers out of business because of the government. How so? You understand the amount of misinformation that is out there and how damaging it is. I see truck every day a haul goods, a haul mall, a haul sun, and a go about them daily lives. How did this government mash up trucking business in Jamaica? And these, make no mistake, these men and women are planning to go to the polls. Not the well-thinking ones. Listen, I wish you could have seen and heard the things that I heard.
Thank you so much. I choose Jamaica. Let me get
God
a
bless
pause
you.
a little bit. Just give me a second. JLP boss, good evening. How are you? Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Lashika. Good evening, everyone. I just joined, but I was listening to, is it I Choose Jamaica you're speaking?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand how you feel, but I just want to add my 2 cents to it, because you'll always have people giving you negative feedback, especially when they're from the People's National Party. You don't expect anything different. It's not the perspective of the entire Jamaica. It is just a few that you will speak to, and I understand it makes you evoke some feeling of, it's a widespread thing. But while you might have some taxi men who are against the whole idea of the school bus initiative, you still have many taxi men who are in support of it, right? And it's not all taxi men will jump and agree with this, because many of them know that it may not work in their favor. When you think of it, you have so many aspects of it to think about. Where the money is going to come from. You understand? How is this going to work? What is the structure? What's the order? How? Is it just a promise? So you will have some of those people who will come out and tell you exactly how they feel, especially, initially. I don't think the Jamaica Labour Party needs to be more clear about the whole benefit of having a school bus program. And another aspect of it that I may add to is that you have far more mothers, fathers too, families who are in support of the school bus program. So the percentage of taxi men who are against it are far less than for the families who are in support of the school bus initiative. And so I understand how you must feel, but it's not as widespread as you may think. And what you need to look at is the effect that it is having on the People's National Party. Why is it causing them to be scrambling? Because it is not